And then it will show you that you're only going to be charged $9.99 and 4 5-star reviews for the waxes as well. They are super duper quality, they really are. We've chosen, look, leaf green, white, red, violet, brown pastel mint, neon green and neon blue, all of them, all 8 for £9.99. And that's always there. So even if Shona and Mike aren't on air and with us at a certain time, if you're running out of wax, just go to the website and order them at any time you like. $9.99. And no P&P, of course, if you're a Freedom member. Right, now, starter kit. This is what Shona's been demonstrating. There's your book, which holds your hand and takes you through the first few steps for abstracts and so on. There we are, look. And it is really easy, and the lovely thing about it is if you do something and you don't like it, like Mike said before, you just literally put the iron back over it and it then becomes movable again. So it's a movable feast. So there's your book. You then get 16 of the waxes, all of this gloss card, which Mike and Shona really recommend that you use for this because it has been developed with encaustic art in mind. And then you've, of course, have got your controllable iron as well, which has been developed specifically for encaustic art. £25 on Flexi today. You're saving £10 and £25 in 4 weeks. But remember, if you redeem your £5, which you can do because it's £25 or over, excluding P&P, it takes it down to £20 today and £25 in 4 weeks' time. Now let's show you how to use the Wheel 5. If you go to the website, look, so it says add voucher code, so you'd put Wheel 5 in there, so dead easy. Apply the code, there we go, look, and there it is, £5 discount taken off the total, and you can pay in full or you can pay with Flexi. And that will be £22.95 with shipping today, or if you're a Freedom Club member, just a straightforward 20 quid today and £25 in 4 weeks' time. But you know, you're going to get that £5 discount. Take advantage of it while we've got the deal on. OK, Mike, good to have you back with us again.
Here I am.
Yes. What are we doing now with you?
First of all, I'm going to show you how the iron works as a little hot plate, because if I show you that, then you'll understand why the compact hot plate is such a step forward and a good advance. Basically, the iron's got the handle and it's fitted with this button at the back here. Yeah. And you just pull that button and it releases the handle. Okay. Turn the icon that says encaustic art down and then just push the iron inside like that. Right. And it clicks into place. Listen again. Yeah. So now it's fitted together. And now what you can do is you can do the thing that the hot plate does, which is to melt wax on top of a card. So now I can take the wax, melt it on the card. So lively, isn't it? And you'll notice that I can only melt the bit of, I can only heat the bit of card that's on top of the iron. Yeah. So what I have to do is move that. So if I put some over here, look, I can actually do that bit, and then I can turn it around, and I can do the other bit. So you can actually work on cards that are bigger than the size of the iron, but the bigger hot plate's easier. Scrapey wax movers are silicone tips which move wax around. Right. So even on the iron here, you can do your first experiments, and you can make different types of marks by scribbling, by dabbing, by pushing and shoving. All sorts of marks that you can make just with this one little tool. And as you can see, it's sort of moving, literally moving the wax around. Hours of fun. Can I just let you know, these new tools, remember, that are brand new today, the 5 silicone rubber tip tools, they have now 60% of the stock gone on these, just £17.99. So those of you that have already got encaustic art in your craft room, these tools are a really good addition, definitely. So that's a basic example, just using, and you can see now that I've taken it off and already the wax is cool. Yeah. So it just takes a few seconds to cool down. What we do then is we take the handle off the iron like this and then put it inside. Can you just pass that hot plate over a second? You just have a look. Okay. So what I do is I turn this round and undo the screw nuts that are in here. So there's a nut there and there's one on the other side. There we are, at the bottom there. So you just loosen those off and then you'd put the iron, do it when it's cold normally, and just slide it inside there and screw those nuts back up. I'll tell you what, this is a well-built piece of kit, this, isn't it? It's a great, I mean, you only ever need to buy one. It's solid, absolutely solid. It's heavy, isn't it? Yeah.
And if that's what you've been looking for and wanting, today's the day to buy it with all the discounts that you can apply. It's 2 payments of £43 on Flexi. £5 off takes it to £38 today, and then the final £43 in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, Shauna did the deal, didn't she? On the
Yeah,
deal?
she did. And there's also Freedom as well. So if you are a Freedom member, it takes it down even lower. That'll be £33.70 today, £38.70 in 4 weeks' time. So win, win, win.
Win every way. So here we've got the iron installed, and the nuts are screwed up, so it's nice and firm. And then I've given it about 15 minutes to heat up, because it's still on the same setting, but it's got to fill the whole of that metal with its heat. Now I can use a larger card, obviously, and you can see that there's space around the edges here.
Yeah.
And the way to stop the card from moving around like this is to put some clear wax on. So just cover that bit with clear wax, and then put the card down, and that'll sort of stick it in place.
All right.
And now I can take my colours.
Do you get clear wax in the starter kit?
You get clear wax in it, yeah, you do, yeah. So clear wax is used a lot on the hot plate, and it's used a lot on the stamping. Now we can just take some colours. Just to show something about the card, if I take, for instance, this blue, we've got purple and we've got yellow here. If I just take the blue and make a line, do you see how the blue replaces those colours because it's pushing them out of the way?
It looks like stained glass now.
It does in a way, doesn't it? And that I'm using the translucent colours. If I put white in here, as I mentioned this morning, what it does is it makes the colour milky.
Yeah.
It makes it opaque, and what happens is that the light is bouncing off the surface, whereas here it's going through, bouncing off the card and coming out, so this looks much more stained glassy than that does.
Well, this also proves a point that Shona mentioned earlier on. She said a lot of the wax blocks look quite dark. This colour is that. Now, it looks totally different, doesn't it? It's a bright, bright fuchsia pink, but it actually doesn't look like that.
You're right, you're quite right. And I think if we take one of the purple, I think is this one here, if you look at that, it just looks like a piece of black. But when I actually melt it on here, it's a lovely purple colour, Shona's favourite.
Gorgeous.
Actually. So you can work with blocks straight on top of the hot plate like this. So you could take different colours and you could just do squirrels like that. You can use the scrapey tools, and what they do is they remove wax. Now, I didn't show this morning that you can actually leave coloured trails behind, but what you have to do, you have to cheat a little bit. So if I take one of the bigger tips, it's easier to show you. So if I just take this tip here, you can see that basically it's removing the colour.
Right.
If I put a piece of tissue around it, in effect I've made it a bit like a felt pen now. So now when I do it, can you see it leaves colour behind? So without this, it'll take the colour away, and with this, it leaves colour behind.
What a great trick.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that would have happened, but...
Yeah, it does. So it's just a little tip for you if you're starting out with this.
Okay.
Let's have a look at the sponges a minute. We'll come back to some more of the scrapies in a moment. The thing about the sponges is that if I just put it here to warm up, okay, now it's warmed, I can squish along all of this wax, and it sort of basically flattens the colour out. So it gets rid of all of the texture that I've just created using those tools. The card underneath still staying clean, so I can put yellow on, I can put blue on, it's still clean through to the card underneath. Take the scrapey tools and I can work those through those colours. I can make marks with them. Now most of them will do this sort of dabbing effect, shuffling effects, wriggling effect with a flat edge, or with a skinny edge.
It's fantastic, isn't it, that you can go back over if you've created something you're not happy with, you can go back like a blank canvas. It reminds me of those boards that you used to have when you were a kid, where you had colours behind a black plastic sheet, and that revealed the colour when you drew with it, and then you went back over and wiped it, and it went back to black again. It's the same sort of principle,
really. It is,
really.
indeed, yeah. And you can just keep on working. So if I just do loads of this sort of manic scribbling for a minute, it just replaces what was there with something else. And that's what I love about this version of Encaustic, is that you can create stuff and replace it.
How funky is that?
Experiment, and actually the process of doing that is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
So art isn't always just about what you produce, it's about the experience. It's about, I want to chill out.
The kind of journey on the way.
Yeah, it's the journey. Yeah. So in art they say there's product and process.
Now we've got the sponges and the triangular comb as well, and the rubber. That's down the bottom of the screen. 076855. Only £11.99 if you fancy that.
Right.
Over half of that's gone.
The comb.
Yeah.
With the comb, you can do these sort of marks. You can make extreme detail very quickly. You can push the wax around. I can take more colour and go through it. So the comb allows for all sorts of different marks again.
Sure.
And what I quite like to do is to do a background. Let's just do a bit there. And then just do a comb mark like that, for instance. And then take one of the white sponges. I could heat it up off the actual card if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could just do a little detail there. And I can dab it like this, look. So I've got some interest here.
Love it.
And now I can just work around that. So if I just go around here, look. I could take the white block and I could use the edge of the white block, like that.
Another lovely thing about Encaustic art is once you've bought the starter kit, really, everything else is really inexpensive. You know, you might think that the waxes would be a fortune to buy refresher waxes. Not at all. Was it 3 for £9.99, wasn't it? Or, no, yeah. No, 8 for £9.99, so only just over £1 each.
Yeah, they're not expensive for the amount of work that you can do with one. Different shapes, so we've got this sort of donut shape. Where should we put that? Let's put that one here. Just twist it and lift. Donut.
I suppose you can put anything into wax, can you? For shape or not?
Yeah. What you could do with the white block, if we get a close-up on this, you'll see that I've adapted the white block just by cutting it. So if you've got a white block, they're not expensive to buy these sponges, then you can cut different pieces and you can make your own tools. So here I've got a little toothed one.
If you've got a rubber stamp sheet, could you lay that into the wax as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So if I just take I can show you that.
I didn't know you got one there.
Yeah. I've got a little rubber stamp here. It's just happens to be a dragon stamp. Should be like that. The stamped rubber is good up to about 300 Celsius. So we're way below that here.
So I wouldn't recommend polymer, but rubber is okay.
Polymer would be okay,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
If it's a reasonable quality, and if it's a sort of an old one that you don't use anymore, then it just will soften it. That's all it'll do. So what I can do now is I can drag with the stamp. So let's get rid of all this, actually. Let's just start again.
Okay.
So
That's the great thing about it, you can start again, can't you?
If I take this stamp and I just drag some colour off here, a bit like Shona was showing for her sky. So I just drag across there until it looks like that could be a moody sky. And now, if I look here, I've got a little bump on the back of my dragon. See the little bump there?
Yep.
On the edge. So think of the edge is what I'm using. So now I can go along there like that. And I can make some mountains. Let's make a big one there. Do some dabbing, some trees or something. And then I can turn it round and I can use the wing bits here. I could use the tail, couldn't I? Push up.
Anything is possible, isn't it?
And then if you want to calm something down, a good trick is to add a border. So if I just take some of the wax away, it just sort of gives a bit of space for the eye. And then I could use a scrapey tool. I could put a little bird in here. Some a couple of them. I could have let's use a little scrapey tool here, and I could probably make a pathway, couldn't I, like Shona did.
What do you see when you're looking at this? Do you see a barren landscape? Do you see maybe icicles? Do you see hillsides and trees and bushes? Everyone probably sees something different.
Yeah, and I'm just defining it a bit more, so this is a bit more like a tree, I suppose.
Very eerie tree.
Yeah, eerie tree, eerie colours. So you get the idea.
Yeah.
It's very, very changeable and adaptable.
That pathway's really effective.
Isn't it good?
Real depth.
And again, another thing that's really good for depth is posts. So it's easiest to do them on here. I think if I do a little one there, bigger one, and a massive one.
Oh yeah.
Do you see how that also helps to add depth?
It's just great fun to play with, and again, if you don't like what you've done, go back over it with the iron and start again. But such a cost-effective hobby and craft to have. And of course, you can make these into cards, you can put them into frames on the wall if you want to. Absolutely cracking price. 119604 for the starter kit that's proving very, very popular. £20 today, because remember we've got the wheel 5 that's shown a very cleverly spun in on the wheel deal, so you can redeem that against the first flexi payment. £20 that will be today, and then £25 in 4 weeks' time. Now we've actually got a few reviews just to show you as well. This is of the starter kit. Great product at a great price, arrived perfectly packaged with very clear instructions for use. Also another one then in March actually last year. What an easy, brilliant medium, so easy to get started and creating within minutes of receiving. The stylus tool as well, and you'll enjoy every way to make beautiful pictures. And the third one there, 5 stars for this one as well. Fantastic, love it. It's very addictive and many effects can be achieved. Wonderful kit. This is the good thing, and you can keep using it again and again and again. And when you run out of the waxes, you can buy more from our website, even if Mike and Shona aren't on the telly. OK, let's remind you then of everything that we've seen so far. Jot down these item numbers if Mike's demonstrations and Shona's demonstrations really inspired you. These are brand new, approaching 2/3 of the stock gone today. They are silicone, but they are wax movers, basically. Think of them like that. So there's nothing to run out on them or anything like that at all. They are 5 brand new tools today for £17.99. 147209 is that item number. Add it into your order with a starter kit, put it into your flexi order if you'd like to. The starter kit itself is everything that you need to get started, obviously, including the most important tool, which is the iron. You're going to get, as well as that, you're going to get the metal scraper, lots of the laminated cardstock for you as well in different sizes, perfect for the encaustic artwork. You've got the starter set guide as well, which gives you all the tips to get started, basically, so you don't have to remember what Mike and Shona have shown you. And the box full of 16 of these waxes, and that is just under £50 today. And remember, because we've spun the wheel deal in, you're going to get a £5 off your first payment. £20 today, and no P&P if you're a Freedom member, and then £25 in 4 weeks' time. Okay, now the stylus that we've got here for you, almost like a soldering iron, but of course it gets to a very specific temperature, which is perfect for encaustic art. You're going to get 3 of the heads here, including a rectangular one. You also get the very fine point, and you also, of course, get the brush head there as well. This is on Freedom, £30.59, but remember, because you've got the extra discount today, it takes it to £25.59 it takes it to today. 987-208 if you want the stylus. We then have the very clever plate. Now this is a good investment because obviously you put your iron into the base of this, it slots into just there and converts your small plate on the iron into a much bigger working surface. Now this is really well made. As soon as you hold this, you'll realise you've got something of quality here. Now we're going to give you a £4 discount anyway, from £89.99 to £85.99. Freedom members, you're going to get another £12.60 off, or £12.60 in total, taking it to £77.39. And because the wheel deal has spun in the £5 discount, you can take it to £72.39. And then you can have that in 2 payments. Okay, so Freedom members, you're going to get a total of £17.60 off by having that extra £5. £77.39. It will be on Flexi as well if you want to spread the cost of it today. So on Flexi, that would mean your first payment you pay today to get this home would be £33.70 if you're in the Freedom Club. Okay. Nice, very nice, and a lot of people doing just that. That was the best seller in the first hour this morning, in actual fact. We've also got, we'll give you an update. 60% gone on that. If you want that, 60% gone and climbing. We've also got the sponge set here for you. Now you've got also that triangular comb, so you can do great effects with the sponge. These are blocks, obviously, of foam as well. You get all of them for £11.99. 076855 is your item number. And while I'm here, I've not shown these yet. I just want to show you a few more of these boards that are here, just to show you potentially what you could do with encaustic art. And then we'll get back to the demos with Mike. But just look at these, aren't they just beautiful? So unusual, so different. If you've been looking for a new hobby that not everyone knows about, that not everybody has the opportunity of doing, these are die cuts. They're die cuts, really lovely. We've got another board just down here to show you too. This one, using die cuts as well?
That's using stamps.
Stamps, okay. Yeah. Stamping into the wax.
Stamp on first.
Yeah.
And then with black.
Yeah.
And because we're using translucent colour, you see through the colour and you see right through to the black stamp. And black absorbs light, right, so the colour doesn't come back out.
Stunning.
So you can't see the colour even though it's on top of them.
Well, look at that nativity down there. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And one more, and then we'll go back to Mike. It's all about the demos. Approaching 80% of the sponges gone now.
That's the rubber brushes here. Use these ones.
Right.
So you can see that you've got 3 teeth on these.
Oh, yes. And they're on the website as well, yeah?
Yeah, they're all there, yeah.
So if these are the sort of effects you want to create, here they come. 2 assorted rubber brushes, $19.99. They're available as well, 130978 on the website. Right then, Mike, last, what, 15 minutes?
Okay, we've got a few things I want to show you. So first of all, I want to show you another way of fixing the card. This time, rather than using wax, I've cleaned the hot plate up just with clear wax and the tissue.
Yeah.
Rather than using wax, I'm going to use tape. And I'm just going to put the tape down onto that.
Just masking tape?
No, this is a heat-proof tape. You've got it on your website.
Right.
And that just sticks on the hot surface and it acts as a masking agent.
Right. So we're going to pop the details up for the heat-proof tape if you want it. It does come with some waxes as well. 6 wax blocks and 50 metres of heat-proof tape for $9.99.
That's a great deal. I mean, it's really good tape, this. The hot plate needs to be quite clean, and I'm pressing it down. I'm using my fingers because I've got asbestos fingers, but if you haven't, then take a piece of tissue and just press down quite hard, like this. And what that does is it makes sure that there's a good seal at the edge.
Right.
And I'm going to use one more piece just across here somewhere.
I've had a question in from Margaret. Hello, Margaret.
Hello, Margaret.
Do we have to clean the sponges, and how would you do that?
To clean the sponges, the easiest way to do it is to put a piece of tissue on the hot plate and put the sponge down.
Right.
And keep moving it around.
Oh, and it goes onto the tissue.
Right, and actually, it creates lovely effects in the tissue. So I haven't shown it here, but I will show it one day, where you can create a lovely effect and then embed the tissue with all those effects on it. It's lovely. Okay, so here, I'm just going to do this quite quickly. I'm putting colour on. So where that tape is, apart from holding the card onto the hot plate, is also creating a mask. So in a minute, when I take this off, let's just do a bit of something. Doesn't really matter what. You can use tissue, by the way, and just dab look like this to create effects.
Great effect.
And if I just take that and put some of that down here, see how it overlays? And then what I could do is I could just do some shuffle marks like this. That's not very good. Let's use one of the scrapies here instead. That's better. Just get some effect in there. Right the way off to the mask.
What's your favourite thing to do? Is it abstract or landscapes, or have you got a favourite?
I like them all. I like the fantasy stuff, really. Right. I suppose. But I do like abstract because there's no right and wrong. You can just do something. And as you can see here, I'm just building up a sort of composition, I suppose. If I do some blue on here now. And then maybe I'll do some yellow marks here. Remember that I'm going to remove that line and it'll be white in the end. So if I do a bit of orange on these now just to tie it in.
Now you've only got 15 minutes before the wheel will be spun again. So if you want your £5 off, Wheel 5. It will be valid to just after the ad, so about 1:15, but the new deal will be spun straight as we start the next show.
So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm taking this tape off now.
It's very effective with the border, isn't it?
And where I've done it properly, it's effective. I have to take it off in the same order as I put it on, and I forgot to do that. So now I'm going to get some marks here, but never mind. Basically, you get the idea.
Love it.
That you've now got something much more finished.
It's like it's got a frame on it. So
yeah, it's framed.
Is that just gorgeous? You know, you don't need to be artistic. You don't need to be a good painter or a good drawer. All you need to be able to do is hold the wax and just let the wax do what it does. If you don't like what you do, you just go back over it and start again.
I'm sort of going to say something now that everybody's already got art inside them, in terms of you choose the clothes that you wear, you choose the colours that you like, you choose the curtains and the furnishings in your home. And that is an artistic choice.
Yeah, it's an expression.
Yeah, an expression and a taste. This is a sealer. I'm just going to show that quickly now. I'm showing this shirt this morning. And I'll do it on this piece here, smaller. So, first thing is polish your piece of artwork. And the reason that we use sealer is just to protect the surface.
Okay.
And it's just an extra protection. You need a piece of cloth, or that's why I use a little bit of torn up something. What is it? Sheet or something like that, an old duvet cover. And you need about that much, which is very little, of the sealer. Can you see how much it
Yep.
is? It's
Yep.
not much, about half a p or a p. And just scumble that. Smudge it all over your card.
So what does that do? It just stops, protects it from...
It's an acrylic that sticks to wax. So
Right.
when you polish the wax, this will then stick to it. So when this dries, and it'll take about, in the studio here, probably about 10 minutes. But you know, if you do a batch of them and leave them, I don't know if you can see this now. I'm going to try and get a close-up of this. See the light on there now?
Yeah.
And can you see how it's a nice even... You can't see any lines. If you use a brush, you get lines. There, you can see it there now. So it gives a nice sheen, so pretty much like polished wax.
Yep.
But it just gives an extra protection, especially for greetings cards. If you're selling your artwork, a lot of people do this for charity and sell them for charity. So it's a good thing to do, to put a sealer on it.
But also they're so different. Probably, unless people watch this show, people wouldn't have seen anything like it before, unless they are experienced in encaustic art. So it is, if you are selling your cards, something that I'm sure is going to attract an awful lot of attention. And even if you are not talented with a paintbrush or a pencil, look, we showed you with what Shona did earlier on. That's just basically one of the heads with a stylus. Provided you can hold it still, you can make tulips and floral patterns. So it's for everybody, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, that type of placement is the same as stamping, except you're using wax and a shape.
Yeah, no
It's the
different to
same
stamping.
thing. Right, I want to show you a different technique now, something that many of you might not have seen before, where I'm just cleaning the iron, and to do that, use tissue and clear wax. Get it thoroughly clean, because I want to leave a lot of white space around my card. And this came through a little video that a lady called Wemke in the Netherlands made, and I saw the video and I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that. And this was an inspiration to a lot of people, I think. So there are a lot of people around the world who are doing encaustic and bringing ideas and approaches to it. So I'm just putting wax on here, a little bit of brown, and now I'm going to put that down on the card, just move the iron slightly and twist it.
Right.
And maybe do something, doesn't really matter what, that'll do. It's a beginning point for a doodle.
Right.
So the question now is, what can I do with that? What can I make it into? How can I develop it?
Well, when you turned it out the other way,
That
I
way?
saw trees.
You saw trees
Straight
here,
away,
okay.
yeah.
So that could be trees. I could develop it, this could be a person. It's almost like the head of a person, isn't
Could be.
it? There. So I could, for instance, doing the little pathway thing.
It could be a waterfall.
It could be waterfall, yeah. So I can take the stylus down and I could, let's emulate that then. Let's just take a little bit of blue and just put a little bit of blue here. So this is just the drawing tip.
Oh, so you can actually draw with a stylus.
And then, yeah, you can draw, you can just work down there. So there's my waterfall. And then what I could do is I could do some grasses coming out of here.
This could be somewhere in the Amazon or something like that,
I
couldn't
could
it?
do, yeah, I could do a little trick. If you put the iron down, heat is going into this pad of paper. So when I now put this here, I can rub with my finger. Can you see it's softened the wax so much that I can just do it with my finger? So I could do little motions like this.
So you don't need too much temperature for the wax to melt then?
No, it melts at 65 Celsius.
Right.
But obviously it softens. It has softened here. So now what I could do is, I love doing these little dragonflies. So I do that scribble to get rid when I've got too much wax.
Right.
And just do a couple of flicks like that. A couple of flicks like that. And a bit of red to tie in. There's my dragonflies flying out there. Just doodle around. So these things that you saw as trees, I could just take them and drag them down.
Mike, remind me, how many pieces of cards do you get in the starter kit?
There are 30 A6 and 10 A5s.
So 40 pictures just for the starter kit alone you can make. And you can buy replacement paper and card as well.
It's very inexpensive. I think it costs, for $9.99, I think you get, so we do a deal on
it's 100 with wax.
Yeah, 100 with 6 waxes.
$10.99.
Yeah, we are. So it's not expensive.
So it's not expensive? No, not at all.
The cards themselves, I think they're probably about £7, £8 or something for 100.
So if you know you're going to get through a lot of paper, there it is on the bottom. 100 A6 painting cards, 3 waxes as well for £10.99. 537029.
So can you see, you can just play around with this
Yeah.
and make it into something that you like. We could just put some little steps in here with the stylus now.
Could you die cut it?
You can die cut it, yeah. when I die cut, I have demonstrated that before on Hochanda. You need, or what I do is I put it inside a piece of polypropylene.
Right.
You know those little polypropylenes that you buy cards in?
Mm-hmm.
If you put that on top of it, then it won't put wax into your die.
Right.
Because the polypropylene protects the die. So this is just a little way of doodling and creating interesting things.
What I love as well is the vibrancy of the colour. It's alive with colour. It's not wishy-washy, it's intense, it's vibrant. It can be landscape, it can be abstract, it can be really whatever you wanted it to be. And you know, the thing about Mike and Shona, when they come on air here, they don't know what they're going to do in the show. Because it depends on what the iron delivers, it depends on what the stylist delivers as to what picture that we were going to get there. You didn't know that that was what you're going to get when you put the iron down. But then from that, we've made it into a waterfall, we've added droplets to it. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful art.
Well, you made it into a waterfall.
Oh,
I just
okay,
put some blue wax falling downwards.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I want to finish off then, I think we've got time to do one more, with some stamps.
Okay, we've got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that'll be enough. And the reason I'm going to use these stamps is I just want to explain something to people. So I've got a little rabbit here. It's a black dye pad, and I'm going to put the little rabbit up there, and I'm going to put 2 more of them down here.
Yeah.
2 more. And then I've got a big rabbit.
It's the mummy, is it?
That's the mummy, yeah. And that one there. Okay, we can quickly dry this lot off with a piece of tissue, so we don't have to wait for it to dry.
Remember, the discount code is still going to be active just after the hour for about 15 minutes or thereabouts. So you can still get your £5 discount provided you're spending £25 or more. And it's not just on this show. Anything in stock on Hochanda, on the phones or on the website, over £25, you can redeem that £5 with Wheel 5.
Okay, so what I'm demonstrating here really is that we've got the same size stamp.
Yep.
Exactly the same thing. But I want to make one look far away, and I do that by letting it sit on a bit of landscape over there.
Wow.
And then I'm going to do some darker colour right at the bottom here. And do some of that dabbing that Shona showed earlier on.
Yeah.
So now we've got the same stamp, but that one looks far away, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Another trick you can do is just to put some big grasses here.
If you've got any rabbit stamps, think about this maybe as a fantastic Easter card. Here we are, let's some
We've got
brushes.
the holiday stamp set that we were looking at on that board that you picked up. We've got that on the website.
Oh, it's on the website as well, brilliant.
You get that.
Shona, come on in if you could. It's great to see you both, actually. Do you know when you're going to be back with us again?
We're going to be back in June, on June the 24th.
Right.
Actually, I'm back with Barbara on April the 27th.
Barbara Gray.
Barbara Gray.
Oh, great, okay. I'm intrigued.
Hot and cold.
Hot and
Hot
cold.
wax and cold jelly, I think, is
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Hot wax and cold jelly, imagine that.
Sounds like a great recipe
And
to me.
I'm going dancing instead.
Shona and Mike, it's been a pleasure. Thanks ever so much. Good to see you. Enjoy your encaustic art. So Polka Doodles, that's on the way in just a second with Lou and Janice. Get Groovy, the Clarity One Day Special. Well, that did sell out, but we'll have another Clarity show for you at 5. And a brand new Flower Pro One Day Special launches at 6.
Hi, I'm Hayley from Craft Yourself Silly, and we're really excited to still be working with you guys here on Hochanda. We were there from the very, very beginning, and we're still bringing you lots of really exciting soft crafts. We design and manufacture all of our kits and all of our fabrics here in the UK, and we love bringing them to you. So if you're an experienced sewer or you're just starting out in soft crafts and sewing, join us. There's tips and fabrics for everybody. Make sure you don't miss our shows and come and craft yourself silly on Hochanda.
Welcome to Club G45 from Graphic 45, the monthly tutorial kit that allows you to create some of the most beautiful projects by accessing a step-by-step video, viewable online. This month's tutorial is Love Notes Tag and Pocket Album Kit, containing tag and pocket album and twist and fold pop-up card projects. You'll get almost everything you need to create the projects from scratch, including access to this month's step-by-step video tutorial and accompanying project sheet. Simply order yours by purchasing item number 622352 for $44.99 plus postage from hochanda.com, or give us a call on 01733 60 2000 for instant access to this month's Club G45 from Graphic 45.
Good afternoon. Yes, the deal wheel promotion continues, but only for today. We've got lovely Lou with us. How are you?
Fine, thank you very much.
Would you like to spin the deal wheel again? Let's see what the deal's going to be for this hour. And remember, this is for items in the show and anything on our website for this hour only. Where is it? Will it stop? It will. Come on. Keep going, keep going. And yes, yes, 10% off everything during the show. That's everything in the show and everything on our website. So go galloping up to the website and have a look at what we've got available for you. Just put deal 10 into the promotion code area and you'll get 10% off your purchase if you give us a call. Just let our call centre know that the deal is deal 10 and you will get 10% off anything you purchase. Go and have a look around, whether it's soft crafts, whether you're going for paper crafts, whether you're looking for a cheeky sewing machine, for example. We sold a couple of those this morning. So you might want to have a look at that. So fill your baskets and then get your 10% discount off. And that also includes 10% from anything on the show today. We had a very busy show earlier on. We did, didn't we? We've got some fabulous demonstrations coming up, but let's talk through what you are getting. Let's talk about this complete package. I think this is going to be a sellout because over 60% of the stock went in the earlier show and now you've got 10% off that price. Lots of the individual elements of this set has sold out. We'll explain which ones are available to you. But when you see the value that you're getting with this, I think this is the one you're going to be popping into your basket. Just to let you know that if you are going for your flexi payments, then your first flexi payment, you'll have to be... If it's 10% off, we're still saying 25. Yes. Yeah, it's just 10% off your total order. So it is a great way to shop with us here at Hochanda with that deal wheel. Right, let's talk about the package we've got. Let's start with the stencils at the top.
All the stencils at the top. Both very, very diverse in their range. I mean, you've got the flowers, which can be masked off and used individually. Which can create backgrounds, which is what we did in this morning's shows, using them to create backgrounds. I mean, the chevron one at the top there, you could use that to go round to create a border. So you've got that there, and then obviously we've got the alphabet as well.
Now the alphabet, love this stencil because this is going to work in conjunction with your stamps that are also available in this bundle. Now the two stencils have sold out on their own, so the only way to get them is in the complete package. You'll see there what a fabulous set of fonts you've got there, because it's not just the letters, you've got the numbers as well. And you've also got a few added extras.
Yeah, you've got some hearts, you've got some ands, you've got a border stripe down there as well. So you've got some other little bits and pieces to be used within it.
And what's nice about that is that you can actually start to make and create your own sentiments. You might have a name that you spell a certain way, for example, or two names of people that you can't find on cards together. You can make and create your own using this particular stencil, but it does work in conjunction with the stamps that we've got available for you. And if I just pick these up to show you, I'm going to turn this one around. So I want to show you how this works. Let me make sure I've got this the right way. Well caught, Lou, well caught. So that's your stamps. Again, why do we love this design?
Oh, because the stamps are decorative in their own right. So if you didn't want to use the stencil, you've got decoration in there. You can colour them solid.
Yes.
Or you've got added ones that have got dots in there. You've got flowers. So you've got choices there already with the stamps. And then add the stencil on top,
which matches perfectly, as you can see there.
You've now got another way of colouring the actual stamps. So you can actually colour them whole again, or you can, some of them have got chevrons on, some of them have got dots on. They fit perfectly within the stamps, and some of the stamps have got little dots or extra bits on the outside of the letter, and the stencil even takes that into account as well. So outside the A and the B, for example, there's some little dots just here, and they line up perfectly, and we'll colour in those bits as well from it.
And just to give you an example of that, look at that, there's my name twice. You'll see on the top one we've stamped, but we've also used the stencil to colour in as well. So it's very, very accurate when you are colouring in using the stencil. So they work perfectly together, but that's not everything you're getting, because you are getting more. So we've got the stencils and we've got the alphabet stamp, and now we've got two fabulous stamp sets down the bottom here. Talk us through these.
Well, we've got the faces one, and that is another superb set in its own right. You've got the outline of the face, you've got eyes half closed, and then you've got eyes that are open. You've got two different sets of mouths you can actually use on it. So you've got choices there how you actually want to dress the face. It comes with, so many different words that you can make into phrases, sentences, use them individually. Plus you've also got some background texture stamps in there as well. So it's a little stamp set that gives and packs a huge wallet, because there is a lot in there that you can do with it.
Yeah, there certainly is. Just to give you some examples of what the faces look like, because you get a chance now with the cards that you're getting, with the backing cards, to add clothes as well. We'll show you how to use this. It's a fabulous idea, it really is. And all of this you can make and create using this kit. You see we've got the background card that we're going to show you in a moment's time. We've got the stencils for the sentiment just there. We've also got the face, and remember Lou said you've got two mouths in there, so you can see the two different designs that you've got, and then we've got the different elements from the stamps that you can cut out as well. So let's show you the backing paper that it comes with, because you are getting 107 stamps, 2 stencils and 65 sheets of card, and I love this card. And it's 300 GSM as well.
It's a very, very good weight card, so you can ink it, you can wet it. It will take quite a heavy abuse for you, so you're not having to worry about what you use to colour on it. So you can do all your watercolouring techniques if that's what you like. There are backgrounds there, so if you're not sure about how to make up a busy background or to make a background, there's some ideas there for you straight away. There are then separate elements. I mean, you've got the floral sheet there, but you could use that as a total background, or colour elements, cut them out, and you've now given yourself some embellishments to go towards it. You've also got the one with the birds on, and again you can do exactly the same again. Use it as a background or pick out elements that you want to colour. And then you get your clothes.
Yeah, I love these.
You get 2 different types of clothes and to use to fit with the actual faces, and then you've got the body on there to dress it up with, and the hair. And you've got multitudes of different ways of doing the hair. You colour it how you want to colour it with whatever medium you want to do. The one thing I'm going to say I do love, I'm going to show with the first demo, is there is a lot of white space between some of the designs.
Okay.
So it means that you could colour all your elements at once and then cut them out, because they're not close on top of each other.
Right, yes.
So you can be quite slapdash with your colouring.
Yeah, I like that.
So you can speed things up a little bit for yourself.
Yeah, it's a great way to use your colours.
And then
your
you've got the
techniques.
craft.
Yeah, the craft paper is great. And on the back, on the reverse, it's plain, just to let you know, and on the white, it's plain as well. But top quality card there, 300 GSM. So 107 stamps, 2 stencils, and 65 sheets of card, 03541. And remember, you are getting 10% off that price if you choose to go for that code, which is deal 10. We spun the wheel. We've only got. Are we spinning the wheel in the next show? we've got one more show to spin that wheel for you, so take advantage of that. Right, let's move on, because if you want extra card, we've got that available for you, because this is fun, it's funky, and I think when you start using it, you'll want some more, won't you?
Oh yeah, and you can use it in different ways. I'm just going to show the card there. I mean, that's just been coloured using it, and someone's just inked, Angie's just inked actual elements, so she's picked out with just loose inking, so it's not even detailed colouring. So you can use the backing card in lots of different ways. I'm just trying to find another one. I think they're on the other pile, sorry.
There's one just there. There you go.
There we go.
Let's grab this one.
There we go there.
So having that detail in the background already and just using your colours, you can practice your techniques on here. But they're fun, they're funky. You can use them as a large card like this, or you can cut into them and use them with your stencils as well.
Yeah, and there's a couple down there that you can use them with your dies. I'm trying to see, there's a little one down. Oh, I think it's... Is this one here?
Shall I pick this one up? Yes.
So as you can see, it's a similar technique, and it's just a simple matte and layering with the dies, and it does, even though it's 300 GSM, it die cuts an absolute dream.
Now pass me that book actually that I showed earlier on, because this is fabulous, and this is something that you can make and create either with the set or if you're going for the extra papers, and we're going to take a look at how to make this in a moment's time. But isn't that beautiful and colourful?
And it's using again all the different background papers, background card, and they've all been watercolour background as well, so it makes it in lots of different ways. So I've made it so you could actually put things in the top, you can put things in the frames, so there's lots of different ways to use it.
Funky?
And then also again bringing out the different elements on the sheets and cutting them out individually to actually use.
It's £13.99. If you're going for that, you can have 10% off, of course. 103901 is your item number, or you can add that to your complete package because you want to get some extra paper. Remember, you're getting 10% off the whole deal. It's a great deal. Just quote deal 10. Right, we've got some stencils for you on the show. These are available on a pick and mix if you want to go for these. You can get them all together if you want to, £24.95. But if you just want to, we've got them on a pick and mix for you. And these are fabulous stencils to use, aren't they, Lou? Why do you like them?
Because even though there is a lot on each stencil, it is actually easy to mask off and use just elements.
Yes.
So you don't have to use the whole stencil if you don't want to. Some of them are a whole background, but you can still do different elements of it. And they are brilliant, and they're so clear. The feather one in particular, because I can see it here, it's great. You could stamp some of the words within that.
Oh, that is
because
gorgeous.
it's big enough space to actually do that. You've got the unicorn design there, and with the border flourishes around, and they're not on top of each other, like I said, so you can actually do different elements with them, and that just makes them more multitasking in that respect, because you've got lots of different choices rather than just having just one plain background.
Love that. Well, you get to choose any two. It's on a pick and mix, £11.98. Again, you can have 10% off that price if you choose to use deal 10, or pop it in your basket and then check out and use deal 10 on your whole collection. 718066 is your item number if you want to go for that. Now, let's remind you of the deal of the day. This is launched every day on Good Morning Hochanda, and this deal of the day is for your Joy Crafts. It's a smashing deal. £11.99. Look at the saving. Saving £26.17. That is a huge saving. Oh my goodness. And if you buy that now, you get 10% off that price. Didn't think about that. The deal of the day price, £11.99, just got even better. You can save 10% on top of your £26.17 saving. That is brilliant. And there's some really nice stamps in that particular set, and card, 12 by 12 card, and some beautiful papers as well, so you might want to consider, for that price, just throw it in your basket. Right, Lou, what are we going to take a look at?
Right, we're going to take a look at you making a project with the actual backing card. I know we keep saying that you can throw everything at it, so I thought it'd be nice to actually throw everything at it. If I was at home, I would decorate the sheet all in one go. Okay. But I've just cut it into two separate bits, just for this. So I can actually then just back them on top of each other.
Equally, you think cutting that into two would spoil it, but it doesn't at all, does it?
No, you can still work with them separately.
That's great.
So we're going to use the Daler Rowney inks because they're a nice acrylic ink, and I can then overstamp on top of them. And all I'm going to do, just to prove it, I'm just going to slap a load of water on, as you can see. And the black does not run. The outline does not run, and it has a sort of resist technique to it, so the water is not sticking to the black outline at all.
Okay.
So that makes it, you know that the black's not going to run. It doesn't, then you're not scuppered with what you can use.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to use some of the inks.
If you've got any inspirations you'd like to share with us, anything you've made using Polka Doodles, then we'd love to hear from you. Send us a picture on Facebook or email it in to studio@hochanda.com.
I'm just going to not do anything fancy at all. I'm just going to move the colours around.
With it being smooth and you're using watercolours, does it take longer to dry, or how long does it take
These
to dry?
inks don't, because these are acrylic-based inks, so they dry actually very, very quickly. So it doesn't take long at all. And as I say, I'm throwing lots of water at it, and it's rising now, but they will dry absolutely flat.
Nikki's such a fantastic artist, isn't she? I love her designs.
I do, because they're free. They're not stylised. They're not meant to be one thing or the other.
Yes.
They are what they are. So therefore and I think that makes it easy for you to create what you want, rather than it being a set image.
Yes.
That you feel that you can only use in a set way, whereas this way you make the images work for how you want it to work for the project. So
It is drying very quickly, isn't it?
yep, I'm just going to put them to they will dry very, very, very quickly, which is a bonus. 6 wipes.
Love those.
And as you can see, I didn't be stingy with the water at all. So they will dry flat as for the rest of the book.
Okay.
Right, let's clean
And that's
that.
what we're making. We're going to make and create a book. These are going to be great for your journaling, great for scrapbooking, great for making cards, for example, batch making as well, because you've got the same design on a number of cards as well.
Well, I'm doing little drops on my palette, only because the ink does dry quickly, and being a little bit tight, then I can keep as much ink as possible. Now, I was talking about the design sheets and actually being just picking elements you want to do, because they're not too close together, and you can cut out, and you don't have to actually worry. So let's do a blue butterfly, and you can cut around, and they're really lovely big outlines, and you'd think that actually when you cut them out would take away from the design, and it doesn't at all.
No.
It just gives you something to cut towards. So if I do the flamingo.
So in this one, you've got your flamingo, you've got your bird, you've got some, well, it could be a jellyfish or a mushroom.
Well, yeah, you've got toadstools there.
The toadstools
if
in
you
there.
want to do it there. You've got butterflies. This one, you've got lots of different types of flowers.
Yep, the daisies, the leaves in there. So individually, if you were to cut these up, you could actually decoupage them up as well, because you could add the leaves underneath the flowers, which would be really nice. There's so many different ways you can use.
You can.
These
You
cards.
could cut round it and actually layer them up that way as well. So you're still only using one piece of card.
Yes.
Obviously, you'd probably colour a little bit neater than I'm colouring at the moment. If you were going to do that.
Well, we've had a picture sent in, and this is from Angie. Let's take a look. Oh, this is beautiful, Angie.
Yeah, and Angie's used the stencil, the flower stencil, and she's used the border from the faces set. So it's only a tiny little border, but when you stamp it all together, you've suddenly got a full outline.
I love that.
And the flower in the corner is actually from the stencil itself as well. And then each of the words are done and cut out. So actually creating lots of positive, like you are wonderful, you are amazing, you're incredible, you are unique. And they're all from that one set.
That is amazing. I've got the set here to show you, actually, because looking at that card, and thank you so much for sending that in, that was absolutely fantastic. And this is part of the larger collection. It's a Faces stamp. You can see you've got all the different elements of the words there, and that was the stamp used to create and make that border. So again, using that on repeat, and you can use it as many times to make it as thick, or you can make it thin. Just use the one stamp and then just keep repeating it along. It's fabulous. Look at the detail. Really nice, sketchy detail in there. This is the point where I don't breathe, or I have to go, so I keep really still. That is included in the larger bundle. I'm just being told 70% of the large bundle has gone. It's going quite quickly now. Now you've got that 10% off that price. Place it into your basket. Do check on out. Make sure you've got it. There's so many different ways you can use this whole complete collection.
Right, so I'm only not going to colour the whole sheet because obviously that would take forever. But that's actually how I do it. I'm quite a lazy colour. I want quick results. So I can then cut round each of the designs and cut them out. And again, I've just used the inks and they're drying really quickly. What you could do then, if you really wanted to, and you can take it up a step or two, is if we get, this stamp here, say, let's get rid of the ink. I could, so this is one of the background stamps, I can actually add a little bit more detail before I cut it out and add some texture and add some
that's a good idea.
detail. Because I know I'm going to cut out on the black lines, it doesn't matter if I then go over on the white area.
That looks nice.
So, and you could do that for all the different elements. So you could bring in lots of the different textures, lots of the different designs. There's a lovely little circle one, and that's on the faces and not on the texture plate. So even though we've got a texture background, you've got lots of it. So I can do complementary colours, I can stamp off. So you can add, I know I'm using the same tones on each other, but you gradually build up the texture on there.
Like that.
And that's another way of actually doing your designs. So I'll put them to one side because I've obviously prepped ahead. Okay.
Do we know how many of each design you get? Shall I count?
I think there's 65 in total.
65 in total. Will it be a mixture of? It won't. Yes, it won't be. It's too much. You get more than 3 of each design.
I think
which is
minimum of 5. Very much so, if not.
So I was going to say, I really like this
well, 12
one.
5s are 60. So there's a minimum of 5 that way. Which one do you like?
I was terrible at school. I've got to. I'm times 10. I think 6 I was good at. 7s I struggled. 8s I was lost. 9s I was good at. 10s I got. 11s kind of lost it after 33, and then 12s I have no idea.
Oh,
sorry.
Really? Oh no, we had no choice at school to learn our times table. We didn't have a very nice teacher at all.
Oh, sorry if I brought back memories.
She wouldn't let you sit down until you got your times table question correct.
Oh really?
Yeah, so that would be however many hours later she decided that she'd let you sit down.
I'd have been on my feet all day. Mind you, I still am, so what's changed? But my point being, they're fantastic papers, so it's not like you've got just one of each design, you're thinking, oh no, I don't want to use it. It means that you've got enough to make with your projects. And if you want more, then please do add another pack to your set. And the details for that are at the bottom. It's £13.99, and you get 10% off that price. So 10% off the full package, 10% off the price of your extra card. It's definitely worth going for because these are fabulous and very, very luxurious as well with 300 GSM.
Oh, well, as you can see, I mean, I wasn't generous with the water at all. I mean, it's still a little bit damp, but the card integrity is still there for me to use. Now, I'm taking some of the texture stamps and I'm just going to go over and just add a little bit more detail and soften the images. And I'm going to stick to colours that are similar to what I've used.
And these stamps are also in your complete collection, the background stamps, which are equally fantastic to use on their own or in conjunction with the card. Now, you can't get them on their own. They are only available in this larger set because they sold out individually.
And some of the stamps you think, you look at and you think, oh, they're quite small. But actually, you can still do a lot with it. You just carry on repeating. I mean, I've inked each time. I could have ghost stamped in between and got even more from it.
Well, I think it also gives testament to the quality of the stamp that you get in here, because even the smallest of stamps give the most precise detail on your images. So again, you've got that quality. You've got that fabulous artwork by Nikki. Absolutely love it. I really do. And it gives you a chance now to use it on your cards. And I'm right in saying you can make, create and sell?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, as long as you're not taking the kit and then repackaging it into another form of an item and then selling it that way.
Yeah.
So again, I've just added some more little bits of design.
Really works, doesn't it, using the same colour?
Yeah, it's because I wanted the pages to be quite similar to the uniform for doing the book. So I've now watercoloured all of that, inked all of that, and it is still a little bit damp, but we can still carry on. So
Just makes me want to start colouring. You know, whenever I see you do this, I just want to start colouring and picking up brushes because you've got great images to work with.
Well, you
They're
have,
inspiring.
And also they're not too technical to colour in if you don't want to. As you can see, I just slapped it all on any way I really wanted.
Yeah.
You could spend, obviously, a considerable more time, you know, colouring them in properly. You could take pencils to it.
Yeah.
You could take whatever you wanted to take to colour them. You don't have to use watercolours or inks like I am doing. So there's lots of different ways. You could make them a little bit more realistic if that's what you wanted to do.
Love that.
Right, I've die cut a frame, and this is from the Polka Doodles layering rectangles, which we had on the previous show.
Yes, we did.
And I've layered it, just cut it out, made a frame, and I'm going to just use one of the stencils that comes with the alphabet stamps. Stencil stamps.
I was just looking at this frame, and I don't know if you noticed, I was thinking, where have you got that from? You've made it and created it. Love that.
So it's just taking one of the stamps and just stamping on a die cut. Because why not? Because we can
really
do
like
that. So, and it jazzes up a plain die cut, really.
It almost looks like the like 35mm film.
Oh yes.
You know, if you put different if you've got something like this and you line them up,
yes,
you could put different pictures in. You could be telling a story, like
or
the movies.
If I cut the frame down slightly.
Yes.
No, it looked like the old-fashioned film. Oh, the Insta ones. You remember you used to be able to take a picture and it came out the bottom. I forgot what they're called. Is that instant?
It was. Yeah. Can we say the word P-O? It's a brand, but they were in Instamatic pictures. You know.
Yeah. Came out straight away. Yeah.
And they used to do that. You didn't really need to, but it was just like, oh, look at me! I've took a picture.
Yeah. And wave it around in the air.
Yes.
Yes. Sort of.
Or our director, Chris Hussein, used to put it under his armpit.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, he does develop pictures.
Yes. Okay. Not sure what to say to that, really. So I've cut out my frame. So with the book, what I've done is the middle bit here that I've cut out, rather than waste it, when I was actually colour blocking everything, that is the middle bit there. And all I've done is taken the same colours and I've just coloured them and then just used the inks, the stamps again to match in.
Isn't that fantastic? And look at all the images that are on there, and they come from the card, and because it's 300 GSM, that's why they work so well. And
these have all been used with the inks again, lots of water. I've over-stamped some of them, so there's added detail on. So I haven't, you know, scrimped with them. I've tried to abuse them in the nicest possible way. So all I'm going to do is, all I've done is I'm just going to join two pieces together. Yes. And that's how the book, so it'll go one that side and one the other. So if I just get some tape.
What a wonderful idea for scrapbooking. A wonderful idea for a gift for a wedding or an anniversary.
And if you want to make your stuff go further, actually all I've used here is 1, 2, 3, 4 of the backing. Yep. And I've cut it in half, so it's an A5, A6. And then some white card to cut some frame. And I've even used the inside bit to make the outside bit as well.
Just goes on and on.
Yeah. So I've utilised absolutely everything. So you could, when you think about it, with 65 pages in there.
Yes.
You've got the potential to make quite a lot.
You could also sell them, really. I mean, something like that on your craft fairs coming up for the spring is something that people will instantly be drawn to because of the colours, because of all the different elements that you've got on there.
Also, you can then, because I've labelled it mini art, but you could label it whatever you wanted to do with the stamps.
Yeah. So, and don't forget, you've got those fabulous stamps to make and create. Let me just get this tray. Those fabulous faces. And another idea, just while we're sticking that together, is to place them on a magnetic sheet, and then they become magnetic. This is just an old baking tray. There you go. It's an old baking tray, and these are just, they're magnetic. So you could add these to a fridge if you want to, and you can just change. So maybe just give her a hat, give her some sunglasses, for example. You could change that instantly by taking the sunglasses away, taking the hat away, and then maybe changing the hair.
Yep,
pop the
whatever colour you want it to be.
It's whatever colour you want it to be, which is a really good idea, isn't it?
But you could also do something similar and create a set of words using the alphabet. So things like to do, remember, pay today as well. So you don't have to. So there's the whole kit can be used in lots of different ways.
Actually, it's a really good way to get the kids involved and engaged in reading and word learning, which is
part of
all
everything.
in the news today about getting kids, kids. I was always told never to say kids when I worked for the BBC. They are young goats, the children.
That's my bugbearer
Yes,
as well.
is it? Yes. Get the children reading.
But yeah,
If you get the kids reading, that'll be amazing.
Well, I mean, if you had the time, you've got a situation where you've got all the letters of the alphabet. You could stamp them out plus some more vowels, make them magnetic on the fridge, and you can then create words.
Leave messages.
Yep. And
Love
do it
that.
that way.
Very
So
good.
that's, I've just joined the 2 pages together to create one of the other pages. So I've made a frame. Now the idea that I've done, I've put the foam on 3 sides, is that you can then put your own little mini works of art in there. You could put pictures, you could put whatever you like in it. You could even put tags.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, what a
Whatever
great
you want
idea.
to do.
Maybe tickets from somewhere you've been, or postcards. And maybe it's a gift for somebody, and you could put a gift card in there. Talking of gifts, you've got 10% off the price. We spun the wheel. We did indeed. And the deal was 10% off anything off our website during this hour. In fact, we'll give you 15 minutes after the top of this hour just to finish off and check out your basket. But that's if the stock is there. So do place it into your basket. Over 70% of the larger bundle has gone. Quote deal 10 to our call centre, or if you're going on online, then just place it in the voucher code. That's what I'm trying to say. Deal 10 and you get 10% off anything you buy. Remember, anything on the website. Have a look around.
Now, even though, like we say, this is 300 GSM, I have die cut the craft card using the same set, and it's cut beautifully. It's still got all that little decorative detail that it had in.
That is fantastic.
So I'm just going to put that on the front. I'm going to just do this frame. Oh, that red liner tape.
Do you like that?
I
Or
don't
not?
mind using it. It's just the friction. It seems to stick to you forever and a day. My poor dog wanders around with it with bits on his tail and. Right. So I'm just going to layer this up. Quickly.
Don't forget you can go for, or please remember, you can go for the extra set of cards if you want to. Plenty of you are doing that actually, which is a really good idea because they're fun, they're funky. There's so much involved in these cards. They are 300 GSM, and you can make and create some fantastic designs because they will be your backdrop, your backgrounds to your cards, to your projects. If you do want them, £13.99, but you'll also get 10% off that stock, but half the stock has gone. Half the stock has gone of the extra top-up.
Oh, wow.
We are very, very busy for those.
All right, so we'll just decorate this up. And you can put a frame on the front.
I really like that frame that you've made there.
And that's just taking a die cut and using one of the stamps to,
Yes.
to do it.
Yeah.
So, what I have done in between is I have cut
Been
out...
busy.
Well, I do decorate a whole sheet, because if you're going to get your inks out or whatever, you might as well. So I've got lots of different elements that haven't coloured, but I've got lots of different elements that I've got here that I can actually now add as decorations. And just to prove a point, I've just cut a tag just to prove that, you know, it can slip in there
Yeah.
or whatever you want to do. So there's lots of different ways you can use these. So now suddenly, like you were saying, they become embellishments in their own right. I've even cut the hearts out because you've got solid hearts, you've got other different types of hearts. So there's lots of different things we can actually do.
They'll make great embellishments for cards, for boxes, home decor, around a picture frame, an old picture frame, and stick those around, and it just changes it completely, doesn't it?
Oh, totally. So if we just add some to it.
I'm looking round now for an old picture
An
frame
old
that we
picture
can get to stick them on.
I haven't brought one with me, sorry. But yeah, no, you could actually do lots of different ways of doing it. Right. I'm just going to add a little bit of colour.
Thinking even if you get some of the clear, not wire, nylon threads, and you can make a little collage.
Yeah, and all the fisherman's thread.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because it's see-through,
Yes.
isn't it? And then you can have things hanging down. So we've got some bits there. I've got a little banner that I've just stamped, and we'll do one for the front so that can go across. That's from the tag set that we was launched the last time we were here. And the heart and the art come from the Faces set. So that little
from
heart.
the Faces stamp set.
Yeah.
It is indeed. Here we go. Let's turn this around and show you. And we really like, that's right, we like this heart because you've got the little dots inside there. And as you come in, you'll see. I'm not going to breathe, so I'll keep it still. We can't breathe. It does look like a strawberry, doesn't it? Oh, that's close. No, I really can't breathe.
But that heart, it's so useful in its own right. I mean, I've used it on lots of different projects, but there are other texture background stamps in there. So I'm just getting rid of all my rubbish falling on the floor.
I had to breathe. I had to breathe.
Sorry.
Aren't they awful? I have to breathe.
Right,
yeah, I love that love heart. And then you've got that tiny little, oh, here we go again. That tiny, I'm going to say tiny little flower, then I'm going to hold my breath. That tiny little flower there. Ready?
And I was using that this morning because that's a great filler, you know, where you've got little bits. I also find these tiny little stamps are fabulous for when you over ink and you might leave a splodge somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're great for that. So I'm just going to stamp some of the words.
Oh, the alphabet stamps are divine. They really are. You can't get them on their own. They're only available in the actual larger bundle, and you can see it's a fabulous font. This has been designed by Nikki as well.
And it can be a very detailed font, or it can be very loose, depending on how you see it and how you want to actually colour it.
Yeah, they look fabulous in just black and white. Maybe just put some ink effects over there. You can colour them in individually if you are a confident colorist. If you've got dexterity problems or anything like that, then you can use the stencil that comes in this set to go over the stamps, so you will be able to colour them in and still get the effects with the stripes on there and the dots. It's fabulous.
I think the stencil idea is absolutely
it's genius. Yes.
Because you've got the designs actually on, you know, the alphabets themselves, but then the stencil also then brings in another set of designs. So it opens it up to a totally different world altogether, sort of thing. So you've got so many choices just from two.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's using the stamps and the stencils across the top, because you'll see the black outline. And then this is just using the stencils on their own. So if you want to, you can have that effect, really nice. And then you can use the stamps, put the stencils over the top, and you will achieve those fabulous colouring.
Which is what we're going to do.
3/4 of the stock has gone of the main bundle.
Oh, wow. Right, so talking about the stencil.
Yeah.
So the M is a solid image.
Yes.
So you could colour that one colour if you want to.
Yes.
If I overlay the stencil, and you can see it fits the outline perfectly, it's actually now given you stripes within on the stencil. So instead of being a solid colour now, it's broken the colour up. If I take that away, so you can see there.
Love that.
So suddenly it's changed it again. And the same with the N. There's certain parts that Nikki's managed to do, so you can actually hide some of the... I think I've stamped my M the wrong way around. Let's turn it around. Yeah, for what I want to use it. So on the stencil here, some of the circle bits actually fit within the centre of the flowers.
Amazing.
So you're actually leaving those centres free. So I can go over the whole bit, and then I'll be left...
Look at that.
...with some actual bits that are white. So you're not getting, if you don't want a solid image, you're not getting a solid image.
It makes it easy for you to colour, and it makes it easy for you to get these professional results that some would say maybe you've actually gone and bought the card, but you've not. You've made it, you've created it, and that's the beauty of using these stamps in so many different ways. You also get 10% off for this hour as well by quoting deal 10. Please use that, take advantage of the 10% off, and go for a couple of the extra items that we've got on the show as well. I mean, that card is fabulous, isn't it? And that's using a collection of the stamps, the alphabet, you've got the faces there, you've got the dresses. If you want to just add a word, look at that. And this is something made and created in the show. Another one here, using the stamps to make that fabulous surround. as you can see here. So you've got that lovely font. Again, you choose what words you put together because you've got the font and it's going to be entirely up to you, which is brilliant. Mixed media projects, cards, invitations, something for the wall maybe, just something a little bit quirky like this. You can make and create with this complete set. So you've got the alphabet, you've got the stamps, you've got the stencils in there, you've got the stamps for the face and the hair and the clothes, you've got the background stamps as well. All of these different elements made and created using the collection of 107 stamps, 2 stencils and 65 sheets of card. Oh, we've just got very, very busy. Please do check out your baskets. Make sure you get it. Make sure you add that deal 10 if you're coming in on the website. That's the code to get 10% off. If you're calling us, just talk to the call centre and say deal 10, that's what we've got for this hour, and they'll take 10% off your order. But I do need to tell you that 80%, almost 80% of the stock has gone. Now's the time to make your decision, pop it into your basket, make sure you get it. If you want to add any more extra card, it's £13.99. I think that is well worth doing because you're getting 10% off. It is the best opportunity to do that. So you get the extra card. So when you get them home, you can make and create and make because they're fantastic.
Oh, they are. I mean, the eye, for example, has all the different stripes, and I have coloured that with the stencil.
And this is what you're getting, all of that.
It's the same with the T. The stencil has actually gone round to leave those little circles and that extra stripe. So if you do have colouring issues and you would look at a line like that and go,
yeah,
oh, that's a little bit too... No, the stencil, absolute genius.
I love it. I love this, I really do. I love the design of the font, I love the ease of use, I love the flexibility as well that you're getting with this. Leave them black and white if you want to, colour them in if you want to, use the stencil to colour them in if you want to. It's all down to you. You can learn to colour better. You can become a better artist by using them because you can experiment with colours, with your backgrounds, because you've got those fabulous designs designed by Nikki as well. And they flow so beautifully that you're going to have so many different choices of how to use these.
And also you choose what words you want and how you want them decorated.
Yes, yeah, true.
So you can pick the colour scheme for
like
the person.
Where's that from?
That is from the texture stamp set. It's one of the backgrounds from the text. It's like a little spring burst from the texture stamp set.
Yeah, I really like that.
It's that one there.
That's like little stars, isn't it? So that'll be good at Christmas as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely
really effective.
So it's just to add a little bit more onto it, and all I'm going to do is just layer up my labels, and I'm only going to put glue where I need to. So I'm just calling this like mini art.
You can make a little book of all your different techniques and colours and things.
Yeah, colours at work or different things that work together. Using collage, do it with different materials, not just, you know, bring together a whole group of different materials in that sort of colour.
I guess you could use your fabric inks with these stamps if you've got the right fabric inks. Oh, that would look good.
I mean, there's lots of different things you can do. And books, I think, are lovely. These sort of things are lovely little things. I'd make them for ages. Then I'm reluctant to use them. I'll sit there and make them. Yeah, I'd sit there and make them sort of thing and go, oh, do I have to use you?
Well, if you do want to go for this, remember that deal 10 is the code you need to use to get 10% off. We have got a promotion running and we've only got one more hour after this hour to take advantage of the deal wheel. In this hour, at the top of the hour, loose spun the wheel and you are now receiving 10% off. So deal 10 is your code. And it's not limited to one per customer, not to once per customer. So that means you can get it on every item. So you can fill your basket as many times as you like, get 10% off this, get 10% off that. What a fabulous way to shop with us here at Hochanda. And so many of you are doing that. Now, the complete collection 80% of the stock has gone. We've got 2-minute queues on the phones. Bear with us. We will get through your calls. And when we answer your phone, just say, deal 10, deal 10, and you'll get that 10% off. You won't alarm them. They're waiting for your calls, but we are getting through them as quickly as we can. The best way to order is the website. You're getting the don't say hello, how are you? Just go, deal 10, deal 10. No, please don't. Do say hello. They'll say hello back. They're lovely people. Actually, no, just shout at them. No, don't. Please don't. No, do. No, don't. We've got 2 stencils here for you. Love the alphabet. Use that on its own if you want to, or use it in conjunction with the stamps. What a brilliant, brilliant idea. To enable you to colour professionally, you can use it in conjunction with the stencil. And to show you what I mean, let's just drop that in. The top line is using the stamps and the stencil. So stamping first and then placing the stencil over the top and adding the colour. There's parts of the stencil that will cover parts of the stamp that are intended to give you those effects of the stripes and the dots on there. If you use the stencil on its own, that's the effect you're going to get. If you use the stamps on their own and colour them in, maybe with black, that's the effect you are going to get. So there's lots of different ways of using the stencils and the stamps together, and those are the flower stencils that you're getting included. So these are fabulous for making and creating your backgrounds. Of course, with a mask, you can mask off parts of that and just use different elements, which is a fabulous way of creating your backgrounds. Talking of backgrounds, we have got some great background stamps here, and we've also got the face with all the added extras. So you've got the words in there and you've got the features as well. So you can see you've got your added backgrounds in there, so you can add texture to your cards, to your journaling, to your home decor. Again, making mixed media out of your papers at home, to give you some idea of what we mean. There's a lovely way of using some of those stamps in the background. Again, building the textures up, making them look absolutely fantastic. Using different elements as well. Let me just bring this one in. Let me make sure I get this the right way up. There you go. You can use that to make and create your borders that go around your cards. Then you've got your faces, make and create. We've got the different expressions on there as well. So you can have eyes shut, or you can have eyes wide open. You can have different clothing as well, so you can make them funky. You've also got the opportunity to change the hair. So you've got different hair, you've got sunglasses in there, and make it nice and funky. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So you've also got the faces, and then you've got your card. 300 GSM, and you are getting 65 sheets of this card. We're over 80% of the stock gone, over 80% of the stock gone. It's a marvellous deal. Please take advantage of 10% off. Take advantage of this deal as well, so you can make and create some wonderful, wonderful works. £39.94. Split that cost into 2 on FlexiBuy. You've also got 10% off as well. 035421. Let's take a look at the deal of the day. We launch a deal of the day in Good Morning Hochanda. Brand new format, brand new programme at 7 a.m. in the morning, and you are loving the show. The deal of the day today was launched with Dave and myself. Spectacular value for money, £11.99. Oh yes, you get 10% off that as well by using deal 10. You're saving £26.17, so why not save an extra 10% on that. You've got some fabulous stamps in that set. You've got a paper pad as well with owls featuring in that paper pad. You've got some lovely pearlescent style card. You've got some 12 by 12 pearlescent paper, and you've got some 12 by 12 card as well. 465110 if you want to get hold of that. It is the deal of the day. When does the deal of the day end? 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Lasts for 24 hours. There is only one more hour after this hour for the deal wheels, so this might be your last hour of the deal wheel promotion to get 10% off. Now, it's not just 10% off this show, it's 10% off everything on our website. We had some people buying the Husqvarna Viking sewing machine, getting 10% off what is already a fabulous deal. So people were taking advantage of that and treating themselves this morning. You can still do that now. Anything on the website, go and have a look, whether it's soft crafts, whether it's paper crafts, whether you're going for some air drying clay, for example, fill your boots. Have a look on the website and get 10% off anything you buy. We're here with the lovely Lou Sims. Let's take a look at what you're doing now.
Right, so I thought I'd make a start. So this is a die cut from old projects. Rather than bin it, I'm going to use it as another form of the stencil with the stencil. So it's creating another masking off. So I'm just building up a background using the actual stencils themselves, but I want to keep one area slightly free.
I'd like to say hello to anyone that's watching us in America at the moment. We're getting very busy and people are tuning in various different times across the USA, and most of our customers are Freedom members in the USA, which means their P&P is included, so they are taking advantage of the deal that we've got today.
So let's put that back there. And if you've got repositional spray or things like that at home, probably a good idea to use it. I'm just used to holding it down. So I'm just building up some of the background. Now
you're just using the primary colours again?
Yeah, bulk of it, yes, 9 times out of 10. I think it's nice to show people you've got options. You don't, or if you haven't got every single colour, there are ways of making colour. I think that's probably from teaching more than anything else.
Yeah, tell us about yourself, Lou. For anyone that's just tuned in, they've not seen you before. Who are you?
Well, ex-primary school teacher, sort of now. So I've just left school.
Oh, you were there for a very short time.
Well,
I was going to say you've been there for a very long time.
I had 15 years, so it was a long time.
Wow.
So, yeah, so did that. So art, teaching art at school was very, very much into saying to the children, you know, you'd have someone come up to me and say, have you got a green? And I'd go, well, how can you make it? But it is that, and it goes back to it, you know, having the different things that you've got. If you can't afford to get everything, if you can try and get the basic colours, that will then help you create all the other different colours.
That's true. Very good advice.
Well, it's also a starting point to get an obsession with a certain set of objects, isn't it? Or inks or design straight away.
Yes. Yeah, I guess so.
Right, so I'm just going to do that as a background. Now, on the Faces stamp set, I'll move them out of the way, is a tiny little stamp that you saw Angie use on one of her cards as a border all the way round.
Oh, yes, yes.
And well, she sent the picture in, didn't she? So all I'm going to do is I'm just actually going to use that to go round the heart to create a border, but I'm using my die cut to do that. Now, I could do that with any die cut or any shape. It'd be great for a circle because people would wonder how you did it.
Yes.
So I'm just going to go round, and I'm only using part of it, but because it's a smaller texture stamp, I'm not worried if I overlap because I don't actually then lose any of the design from it at all. And it looks like it should be more of a stamp than it actually is, as you can see, because it's going through and following round the actual heart design.
And that's such a delicate stamp as well.
And small stamps can do big things as well, which is lovely. Right, so I'm going to go and stamp one of the faces. She says trying to look for her ink pad. And I thought it'd be nice to show a different way to make hair, not using the hair.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
All will become clear, she hopes.
Because in the actual complete collection, you are getting the stamp set.
And the paper and the card.
So you're getting the stamp set to make and create your faces, and then you are getting the card to cut out for your hair designs.
Yeah, and there's a design for every day. Near enough. Well, if you've coloured them up in lots of different ways, you've got a different hairstyle for every day of the week, or
yeah, you certainly have,
of the year. So I'm just going to stamp the face and use all the different elements to stamp the face. I'll just take that one, and I'm just going to do it as before. So I've just stamped all the different elements of the face. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Now I'm going to take the actual alphabet to create hair. And what I've done is I've just stamped onto a post-it one of the letters, and all I'm going to do is use it as a mask.
Okay. So that's O that you're using there.
That's O I'm using there. So I'm just going to put that down there. Get rid of the scissors. And what I'm going to do is start building up some hair. So I'm just going to mask off that little bit of the face. And I've got the O there.
Now we've got 3.5 minutes left of the show. After that, you'll have 15 minutes to check out your basket to take advantage of the deal 10. The code gets you 10% off anything. So if you do want to go for that complete collection, it's 2 payments of £19.97. The full payment is £39.94, but you'll get 10% off that if you use the code DEAL10. So it's a great way to buy from us. 035421. So you're already saving £8. You're going to save an extra 10% on top of that by using DEAL10. So much in this complete collection. 107 stamps, 2 stencils and 65 sheets of card, but it really is the fabulous alphabet and the stencil that goes with the alphabet that's going to be, I think, a game changer for you. We're approaching limited, so that says it all. We're approaching limited stock. Please do check out your baskets, make sure you get it, and if you want to go for the extra card set, it's £13.99. I think a lot of you will take advantage of that extra card set because the backing papers are fabulous, aren't they, Lou?
Oh yeah, totally, and they're so versatile. So I've just taken the O, and I've just made her hair look like it's going down in ringlets.
So, look at this. So that is the 0, or the O, and now you're using the Q from the alphabet set to make ringlets. That's a genius idea.
You could use the S,
yes,
which would give that curl, and you can build it up. So I've actually now made it so she's got different ringlets, so I can, when I come to colour it, I can do it. And you can now colour with the stencil, and then then draw the ink out.
Love that. And then you've used the O at the top with a mask, and that's the Q behind it.
Yeah.
So an O and a Q for the top for the hair, and then the O and the Q down for the ringlets from the alphabet set. That is a fabulous idea.
So it's another way of doing hair other than using the card if you want a single layer.
I love that.
So I'm just going to use some of the inks and just colour in loosely with it. So once it's coloured in, it then stops looking like an O and a Q and becomes more of a ponytail. But you're using those stamps to help create the illusion of the braid. I was trying to think of the word as I was talking then.
I was trying to help you out by having short hair. I have no idea what you're talking about.
But so in just now colouring it in, so you've now been able to create a totally different design, and I would spend a little bit more time on it if I was at home.
Love that. 1 minute left of the show. Take advantage of deal 10, you're 10% off. We are limited stock on that complete collection. We've been so busy for it throughout the previous show and this show, and I'm so happy you're taking advantage of that 10% discount, because many of you are going for the extra set of card as well, which gives you more flexibility. It gives you more to work with as well. And if you do want that extra card set, it's just £13.99 added to your basket, which I recommend you do.
Right, as we haven't got much time, I'll explain what I then did was just stamp out the alphabet, cut it on. I've done exactly the same. I've just coloured in the heart. They are still O's and Q's. And then I've just taken the smaller words and just put them around the outside and added some extra bit of detail.
Lou, I do not know where the time goes.
No.
It absolutely flies. It's like we've only been here 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
No,
Hopefully see you again very, very soon.
21st.
21st. Please check out your baskets. You've got 15 minutes left to get hold of the deal. Bye-bye. Coming up next, we've got Paul Church and Matt. The one-day special has sold out, but we've still got plenty of groovy stuff for you. Flower Pro one-day special launches at 6. Very excited about that tonight.
Welcome to the Deal Wheel. Join us from Thursday the 4th of April at 6 p.m. to Monday the 8th of April at 6 p.m. where the wheel will be in control of your rewards. At the start of every hour, we'll spin the wheel, and where the needle lands, the deal is dealt. You can benefit from amazing savings and extra offers, but for that live hour only. So you'd better get in quick. You can have the opportunity to benefit from either 10% off everything ordered in the show, free standard PMP, £5 off an order of £25 or more, entry to win a dream day at Hochanda, or even numerous freedom discounts. It's all up to the deal wheel. So tune in from Thursday the 4th of April at 6 p.m. for the deal wheel. Remember that it's the wheel that's in control.
Hello, I'm Sue Trangmar and I started Daisy Chain Designs 20 years ago. Back in the day there were very few quilt patterns in the marketplace, and so I started to bring patterns into the UK from America and Australia, and along the way I've been lucky enough to work with some fantastic British designers, and that is what really the essence of Daisy Chain Designs are. At Daisy Chain Designs, we're passionate about sewing and quilting. We design projects that hopefully will inspire you to pick up your needle and thread and have a go. We have great fun in designing things from the very start, and then the end product is always very exciting when you actually see it made. So don't miss the Daisy Chain Design shows on Hochanda.
Wakey wakey, rise and shine. Welcome to Good Morning Hochanda, your daily breakfast fix of your favourite crafts at 7 a.m. Whilst you're getting ready to start the day, join us every morning for the deal of the day. A product available at a special price but only for 24 hours or while stocks last. Part of your morning routine should also be the sunrise specials. Your favourite crafting items available at a special low price but only for the hour. Tune in to Good Morning Hochanda and start your day with a deal.
And it is the deal wheel. It's the last spin. The last spin of the deal wheel. Paul, you are bestowed.
Wow.
With
no
the
pressure
honour.
then.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
No
pressure. If you want to feel the pressure, feel it. Do you feel...
Right, here we go. Should we go? Should we go?
Go on,
right,
go on,
one,
go
two.
for it. Go for it.
Whoa!
Okay, the deal wheel has been landing on deals for the last few days. It's something we've been doing over the weekend. This is it now. It ends at 6 p.m. So this is the final deal that the deal wheel is going to give us. Let's see what magic is conjured up by the... It was a big spin, actually.
It was
Paul.
a big spin.
That was a double spin you just gave it. Double
Come on.
boom on the spin. It's a 10% off!
Well
High
done.
five! Oh, my
Excellent.
word. So on launch last night, you managed to randomly spin 10%
Yeah.
off. And again for final call now. Although the one-day special sold out a long time ago, by which I mean don't trip over the camera, Ben. Are you okay? Are you okay?
He forgot the postcard.
He's fine, he's fine. He did forget the postcard. Was it a nice trip? So, the 10% off, here's what it means. OK, so you're using the promo code DEAL10, or the rather expensive number plate, DEAL10, and then you've got customers entering codes at checkout. So enter that. When you see on Hochanda.com, when you're checking out on the web, enter that code where it says, enter code, or telephone in and just say DEAL10 to the person taking your call. The promotion is valid for this live show. There's probably a very slim chance you'll be watching this on repeat or rewind, but of course, well, no, rewind actually is very popular, but repeated, no, not for the one-day special. But yes, it is available on this live show. Also, you've got to qualify and check out. You're going to complete it within 15 minutes of the end of the show as well, so by quarter past rather, and then the offer is not limited to once per customer either. So full terms and conditions on the website Hochanda.com, but 10% across the board. So whatever you are ordering, we can show you how it works if you want, but it's pretty simple. Just type in deal 10 when you check out, or say it over the phone. That's brilliant.
That's absolutely brilliant.
What a way
because-
to end
wow.
the promotion. with
Yeah.
that 10%.
Yeah, an extra 10% off, and we've got the really cool plates here. Launching, the one day special is not here. It sold out last night at 6 p.m, so it's gone. But we are very happy and very proud to have extremely new Groovy plates, launched only in December.
The Queens were launched in December, that's right, Matt. And they proved really, really popular. And when Barbara was bringing last night's one day special, which was a beautiful floral alphabet which she hand illustrated herself. And a lot of the design team used the Queen's and the King's lace paint because it was a perfect frame for beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
So we've got these on the show, and over the past 24-hour period, because of the special wheel deal and obviously the one-day special, people have been absolutely loving
It's
these.
been so busy, hasn't it? I mean, you get all four, don't you, Paul? And very innovatively, then, the brighter, whiter areas of the plates are your usual groovy parts.
That's right.
For parching. And then it's slightly less visible on the TV, but very clear, are the piercing.
That's right. So this is the first time we've done like what we call a duet plate, where you've got that combination of the groovy and the piercing on the same plate.
Yeah.
And the concept came from Josie Davidson, one of our design team members and a traditional parcher. And so she came up with the patterns, and then Jim had to work in the office, had to work his magic to get the layout right and everything else. And they just proved so popular. And then what Jim also did was he did the beautiful border alphabets as well.
Yes, these are lovely, and the alphabets are actually included. They're not like add it to your order for an extra £20 or anything.
Right.
These are included in your purchase today. And they're lovely alphabets as well. And for the Queens, they're quite...
they're very regal,
yeah.
aren't they? Yeah, that's right. So again, so you're going to get the four Queens. You're going to get Queen Victoria, Mary and Elizabeth. And then you get the two beautiful borders. And I think now, I mean, you've already making a £10 saving.
Yeah, on top of that.
And now you're going to get another 10% off.
Yeah.
So that brings it down
Get another £5 or so,
£5.39. £48, is that about
Yeah,
right?
around about that. Yeah, it's £5.39 off.
I think Lottie's a bit slow.
Which would be £48 and 4p or something. So it's a good saving with your extra 10% off. And also on FlexiBuy, it means it's £26.97 or around about £24.50 or so. So a very good saving for you, and an extra 10% off courtesy of the deal wheel as well. And I love some of the, I mean, just to have a look at some of the samples here, Paul.
Should we have a look at this one, Victoria?
Yeah,
I love what
really
Josie's done with this one, because what Josie's done, she's done like a double frame. So she's taken the main focal, which is the beautiful Art Nouveau lilies, and done the initial frame, and then she's made a larger frame to go around the outside, and it just absolutely, I mean, it's stunning. It really is. And what I love about the concept of these plates is that it is achievable. Whatever level of parching you're at, you can do it. You don't necessarily have to do the Picot cutting, and you'll still get a beautiful effect. But the plates is what makes it achievable.
They're so lovely. They're so lovely. And you are. I mean, you're combining. Well, should we show one more while we chat? Actually,
so that was from
or any more.
But we'll Mary,
we've
got here.
This is a lovely one, Mary.
One by Emma Burns. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Okay, lovely card there, Emma. Lovely. And I mean, I know it's taken obviously hours, but the simplicity of the monochromes really effective there. And then the florals here as well.
And
I mean,
got
just
one from
so
Mrs.
nice.
Anne from Karen Jackson.
Yeah.
Again, and then when you combine it with the designer papers behind it as well, it really does bring it to life.
Yeah,
and the Picot cutting sort of really reveals that.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're combining your Picot cutting, your Groovy, and your white work with these borders all in the one, and you're using all three of them, or two of them, or one of those disciplines maybe, to create some really beautiful cards and home decor and artwork as well. Love them, really love them. These are your Queen plates, and with your 10% off, you are saving even more. It's $48.55 with your 10% off on top of the £10 you're already saving. With Flexi, it makes it $24.28 as opposed to $26.97. And bear in mind, those main plates here all are $11.99 each, and then you've got your alphabets as well. So 4 of these is $47.96 normally. That means you're spending, is it 30p each per border or something?
Yeah,
for the alphabets.
crazy.
Amazing.
And they're
$7.99
each.
Yeah, they're not 30p.
No.
yeah, but they technically are when you work it out now today with your savings, etc. It's good. There's 057474 is your item number. They are on FlexiBuy as well, if you want half the cost today. That's the Queen plate. Now, the King bundle is also on a freedom discount. So not only have you got your £10 saving, you've got your freedom discount already slicing a bit more off. And then, Paul, thanks to your magical spin of the deal wheel, you've taken another 10% off for us. So we're saving another £4.85 on top of what you're looking at there. So £48.55 minus £4.85p, making it £43.70p. It's a great deal. £43.70 today, just to get your King plates and your alphabet borders. Spread the cost. £21.85 it is today, £21.85 next month to get the King plates. Definitely not paying for the borders now with that deal. So yeah, let's grab some samples here.
Okay, so let's grab them from one down. I love this one. This one is by Louise Golding in The Office. And again, I love this because she's created sort of like a panel, really. Although it's framed, it's not like a square, it's not a rectangle, it's created sort of like a mandala type effect, hasn't it?
What she's done,
and then just that beautiful dahlia just in the dahlia in the middle of it.
Yes, the creation she's made, just you've got the square around the edge, and literally just by turning it on its side 45 degrees, creating that lovely panelled area. Love that. And then, you know, that's one of my favourites, but we saw it earlier, so choose another one.
Let's choose this one. So this is a real nice sort of combination, because this one's actually that one. I'm not sure who's done that one. This is the mystery guest. Maybe you did it, Matt.
Maybe Catherine. I know Catherine was hard at work.
Catherine was getting groovy earlier on, in between shows.
She was. In the last hour, she's done a really nice project.
This is a lovely piece. And again, that beautiful background paper, which is one of these designer papers. And it just shows that's quite modern, the backing paper, quite sort of arty. But you can see how the parchment works really, really well with that.
Yes, it creates this beautiful panel for the Happy Birthday world, which is, we must show this for the white work on the flower, but also, I know we're looking at the frames, but design-wise, check this lovely flower out in the middle, but then, of course, drink in the Charles, I think it is, or the George, I apologise, George on the white work.
So this is lovely, it's done by Karen Jackson, and I mean, to me, that flower, it looks sort of three-dimensional, doesn't it? And you know, you can get those those holographic blocks. It actually looks as if it's encrusted in one of those.
Those laser etched crystals.
That's it.
Usually high quality ones are those come from Russia. But yeah, you've got the wonderful flower in the middle, but then the frame around the edge. You can see how easy it makes it, or how accessible it makes it for the Picot cutting, the white work, and the Groovy, because all three disciplines show beautifully here on that. Really nice card, that. So you're getting all 4 King plates here. They're the same as the Queen's, where you're getting the piercing...
The perforating and the embossing as well. Yeah.
Got them. And, of course, then you've got your alphabet border strips as well, and they are included in this bundle here. But when all the savings have been taken account of, you're not really paying for those, which is really good. 508318 is your item number to order now. You've got your special £10 off, and a freedom discount, and a further 10% off thanks to the deal.
And I think we also worked out in the 9 o'clock show, I think Lottie will check this for me, that if you went for the Queens and you went for the Kings and you turned it the 10% off with the Flexi, I think it worked out that it was the first Flexi payment was cheaper than buying the bundle.
You are right. You are right. It's going to be, if you're looking at it, it's £46.13p on your first Flexi buy payment to get everything we've just seen. Everything.
Which is cheaper than the...
So when you look at what you're paying for one of the bundles today, admittedly that's the first payment of 2, but you are getting all of it, and you know what, you're getting the savings there, you're getting the 10% off. That's not something that happens every day.
And I think a lot of people were doing that in the 9 o'clock show this morning.
I've got a feeling they were, quietly, not telling anyone about it, just quietly going, I might have ordered
coming up, isn't it? Treat yourself for Easter.
That's a good point. Talking of treating yourself, 70% of the Kings has already gone, and the Queen's very, very busy indeed. In fact, it's just taken a jump, so I'm just waiting for an up-to-date one. Over 80%, okay, over 80% of the stock gone on the Queen's right now. So very, very busy. So here we have the bumper, literally a bumper bundle of parchment.
That would give you a bump if you drop that on your head.
Really would, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would go bump. It's a very heavy pack here. I mean, this is going to keep you going for such a long time.
It will do. And what we found, that after we released the Queens, I've said this before, that when we released the Queens, a lot of people just had the normal A5 parchment. And as they were creating the frames, they were running off the edge of the parchment. So we put this bundle together, and it's already got a saving because we sell a pack of 20 sheets of clear parchment for £10.
Okay, 20 for
So,
wow. Okay, so that could be over £100 if that was
£120.
But that's 250. Wow, yeah.
Well
over 100.
So it's £125. That would be the normal price if you was to buy it in packs of 20, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
£10. So we've already given you a saving on that, and now you've got the
extra 10% off.
off.
Yeah, and it's on Flexi. So it's £83.60 with your deal wheel 10% off, and that's valid until 6:15 p.m. tonight, and it's the last hour of the deal wheel, and that makes it 2 payments on your Flexi by £41.80 to spread the cost. So a very, very good saving on that compared to what you would normally pay for it in separate boxes, separate bundles. That's working out per sheet. It's 33p per sheet. That's very really good. Considering also then it would be, you know, 17p or something
50p
for
a sheet for a normally.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because then and half that price because you're looking at A5 if you chop them in half as well. And consider that. On the website, here's how you use your Deal 10 voucher code. It's very, very easy. You can see it there already. You can see it added on the subtotal. It will take off 10% for you when you're using that. You can also use FlexiBuy. It tells you how many instalments you're paying in. It tells you what it is per instalment. And this is 10% off on the entire website. So go and have a look on your show for this show. If there's anything there on your entire website scroll for this show, okay, the 10% applies for this show only. You can see all of those different items there. So you might be looking for the embossing mat. You can save £1.59 on that. You might be looking at the perga liners. You might be looking for the exclusive pointed scissors. And then shop by brand to see clarity in general. And you'll see there your different items. You can literally have anything on there, and you will get yourself your 10% off thanks to the deal wheel. Deal 10 is the code that you're typing in on checkout to ensure that you get your 10% off. So the one day special, if you are tuning in for it, I should say it's long gone. It sold out last night. We were lucky enough to have extended delivery available, but even that went very, very quickly. And you're around about 22.5 hours too late for the one day special. I'm so sorry. But we are so lucky to have the Bang Up to Date, only launched in December and March. For the Queen and the King plates. So you have this gorgeous project here.
So again, thank you to Karen Jackson who prepped all of the hours for us, and obviously I've just had to cut them back and just adapt, not the cards, obviously I wouldn't cut the cards back, but just the demos back, because I know how much work is involved in these, and it's really appreciated what Karen's done. But we're going to focus on this beautiful frame around the outside, and you can see here what Karen's also done is, rather than create a frame, she's created sort of like a banner type effect, just to give a little bit more detail on there. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off and we're going to bring in the plate mate from the starter kit. Now in the 1 o'clock show we had a fantastic deal on the starter kit.
Did you pick it up? I hope you did.
So welcome to everyone that bought the starter kit.
In fact there's a good deal on it now because you get 10% off it.
Exactly. So if you did miss that, then obviously take advantage of it now, because that's £5 off, isn't it?
£45 for your starter kit.
So right, so we're going to go with that, and then we're going to be looking at Queen Mary.
Right.
So all the kings and queens are over there, Matt.
Yep, got our Mary plate over here. So we've got Mary right on the top, actually. There you go.
There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is...
Probably want to show that.
we've got the embossing, and here we've got the perforating. And on the plate, it actually says, emboss this side up, and then when we turn it over, it says perforate this side up. Because you would think, because this is perforated, it doesn't matter which way you use it, but it does. But we're going to start off, I personally prefer to start off with the embossing first. Okay. Also in all the plates, you're also going to get a cutting guide, and that if you want to do the Picot cutting, it gives you that guide on where you need to do the cutting. Okay. So we're going to take a piece of the A4 parchment, and we're just going to position that onto our plate mate, and then we're going to attach it using the Groovy tabs. And that's just going to keep our parchment in place. We're then going to take the tumble dry sheet that comes in the starter kit, and we're going to wipe that over. And what that does, it allows the tool to glide more easily. Okay, so I'm going to bring my Groovy guard into play, because for me, this helps me focus. And it's a larger piece of parchment as well. And we had somebody email in, I think it was in the 1 o'clock show, about it curling up at the edges. Okay. Was it 1 o'clock we had?
I don't remember that, but it might have
maybe
been,
it was 9.
Was it 9? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
All the hours roll into one here. So by using this, because obviously your hands are warm, and if it's warm in there as well, it can cause it to curl. So I'm going to use the number 2 tool, and I'm going to trace out the lovely little sort of petals and the design that's on the plate. And by using the number 2 tool, what that's doing is giving me a softer line, so that when we do the white work, it sort of blends in more easily. Okay, so we're just going to do part of this. We're not going to do the whole thing. Okay, and we'll just do a couple down this side.
You might have just noticed the clock appearing on the top right-hand side, right by our ball tool, actually. That means you have 59 minutes and 38 seconds left to get your 10% off everything. So if you're on the show, if you're shopping by brand, you've got 10% off everything with Groovy. And, of course, all of your wonderful plates that you might be looking for, including the accessory pack that we're using at the moment with the Groovy Guard. It comes with your Groovy tabs and also your parchment, 20 sheets of the A5 size.
Okay, and then we've got all these lovely little dots, which we're just going to emboss. So I find this really, really relaxing. Just sort of, you just press in. You can hold the tool a little bit more upright and give it a little wiggle. But for me, I just find that doing it this way is more than sufficient to do to get the overall effect. But you'll find what's more comfortable for you and the effect that you'll get. Okay, so we'll go around. This is just so... Even my voice slows down.
Yeah, okay.
But it's just...
sort of almost relaxing, hypnotic.
It is quite hypnotic, isn't it? While you're doing it as well. And I know people watching it as well sort of say, like when we're at the retail shows and people say, oh, I could just watch that for hours. Yeah. So what's great about this is if you miss something, like I have up here, it's easily identifiable.
You can see it very clearly, can't you? Yeah, on your white.
So we're going to go. Do you want to have a go, Matt?
I'd love to, Paul. I'd absolutely love to. Thank you so much. Again,
what we'll do is, if we sort of stop along this road here...
You didn't do this last time.
I'm going to put some markers
So I've got a stop sign now.
Yeah. And then we'll stop along here as well.
Okay. I got into it, didn't I, Paul?
You did. You got
Thank you so much for letting me have another go at it.
I think it's great, and again,
that.
It's when we're at the shows, it gives me a rest as well.
Yeah, I understand that. So I'm using the number 1 side at the moment. Yeah. So number 2, I've picked it up at the wrong end. So I want the number 2 because it wants to be quite gentle. So that one, not that we're going to really notice it, but that was the one I did with the number 1. Yeah. And I could sort of tell when I put it down. I thought, no, this is smaller.
Yeah, I mean the number 1 tool in the starter kit is a 0.8 mil, and it's a 1.3. I think it is, so on the other end, which is the number 2 tool. But you could also use the Pergamano ball tool bundle that we've got on the show, which has got the 1, the 1.5, the 3, the 4.5 and the 6, I think, if I'm correct. And obviously if you're getting into your Groovy and you want to start doing more on your white work, then the ball tool bundle is fantastic to adding to your collection.
Yeah, it just gives you more choices, doesn't it? And you've just got another tool, and I don't know, it's the convenience as well of the fact that you've got your starter kit, you've got every tool that you could need to at least get started. But then, you know, if one of them's in one craft bag and one's upstairs, one's downstairs maybe, one's in a bag that you take with you, you know, it just gives you more possibilities. So is that how much you wanted done, or am I doing that bit in there as well?
Carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
Chop, chop.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. I'm sort of bargaining with you. Do you want this bit done as well? Can I do, you know?
Just go with the flow. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's good fun.
But yeah, as you're saying about with going to craft groups and stuff like that, we've also got on the show.
Got carried away, went too far. Yeah. I've gone too far this time.
You've ruined it.
There you go. So time to tag team.
Right. Time to shift over.
Yeah, all right then, come on.
But you know what? What I love about it is that you can stop. I mean, that just makes a beautiful corner piece as it is. And when we look at what Karen's done for us, she hasn't actually done that part at all because it's covered up with the thing. So what Karen's done is just that element there.
Just taking that one, yeah. But
And that's what's great about
looks.
the plates is that you can break it down and look at the different areas.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done that. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove that from our plate.
Really enjoyable, by the way. You get your starter kit today with 10% off, but you also get your pool tools if you are adding those in today from Pergamano. 26.31 they are with your 10% off. 26.31, saving £2.92 because you've got your deal 10 that you're quoting when you check out. Terms and conditions on the website. Maybe they're going into your flexi order today, so that will be £13.16 today, something like that, when you're adding them into your flexi basket.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what Karen's also done for us here is she's sort of like done a guide. So the whole pattern has been traced out with the embossing, and obviously she's left areas out so that I could complete. And you can see here how effective it looks just embossed with the dots. And then as we go around the corner, we've then got all the perforating. And again, it looks just as effective with the perforating as well. So this is what I love about the duet plates, is that you can do the different stages to whatever level you want to. And then if you're into your Picot cutting, then this is where the effect that you'll get here when you do that.
It's a good look.
I mean, it's just, you wouldn't think just from one plate, with one plate that you would be able to do so many different things.
Yeah. Most certainly.
Okay.
It's up to you how you employ your plates. You're getting 4 of them in the Queen's set and 4 in the King's set, plus your alphabet border plates as well. 2 in each.
Right, so should we do a little bit of whitework? Have you done whitework for, Matt?
Do you know, I'm not on the TV. I believe I've done like a very tiny, like an example, but not any proper. So the honest answer, no.
No pressure then. I'm going to help you out though, Matt. I'm going to let you borrow my best friend.
Thank you. Your pink mat.
The pink mat.
Is the best friend, because you said earlier you're heavy-handed and it just gives you that give.
Yeah. And if you haven't really done much whitework and you're worried about going through, then for me, the pink mat really makes a difference. Okay. So what we're going to do, we'll jump to the other tool that we've got in the starter kit, and we'll go with the number 3. Okay. And all we're going to do, I'll do one, and we're just going to gently stroke the parchment.
I remember what you said earlier.
Okay. So it's sort of like the way it is, it's like an aeroplane taking off. You go along, come along the wrong way, and you lift off. And what that does is it gives you that gentleness. Okay, so I've done this one here, so do you want to have a go and do that one there?
Okay, the only thing I'll ask is how you did that. I noticed you did that very gently on the circle.
Right, okay.
But there's a very particular thing there.
So don't do the circle, just do the little petals, and then we'll talk through that one.
I'll start here and I'll pull it. I've got the number 3 side.
Yeah,
so
so
I'm
whether
taking off.
Some people prefer to flick towards, some people prefer to flick away.
I'll come back to that one because I want to just get used to my.
Don't turn the body.
Yeah.
Turn the parchment
so
that it's more comfortable for you.
Yeah. I'll just come back because I want to learn my pressure, because I've only ever done it technique-wise. I've never actually done it on a project before.
That's really good.
Thank you. I see that I want to add a little bit more there.
Yeah.
And I want to turn my project around to go back to the one I started.
That's right, and as I say, always move your work, because what you don't want to do, you don't want to sort of twist your arm round, and because it then becomes uncomfortable, and you think, oh, it's not working. Wow, that camera's really good.
Okay, I'm learning
no pressure, Matt.
I'm learning my particular pressure at the moment. I'd like to come back to that because I think it might rest quite well. So I'm going to turn it. I'm going to go back because I'm learning how much pressure I want to be applying.
So that first little one you did was probably just a little bit too much pressure.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's probably the right sort of pressure you've got there. And I'd say that's probably enough for that one.
Okay. Now, last one. How do you know when to stop with it, Paul?
You'll either know when you go through the parchment, it's time to stop. But I can see, the way that the camera's really picking up, I can see from here that it's becoming sort of really depressed.
Right.
So it's really debossed in there.
Yeah.
And so I know that it's quite, you've done enough at that stage.
Okay, so these ones were yours, these ones are mine. And I noticed you did the circle here very quickly, but I don't want to end up with a black spot in the middle.
No, so to prevent a donut effect, what you do is you go up and down.
Literally, just
straight up and down, very lightly, and then you go left to right. And what that does is that fills that little donut ring in the middle, and then once you've done that, you can then go round in a circular motion. Perfect. That's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
So do you want to turn over and see what we've
I'd like
done?
to see. So the one that you did was here, Paul. The one that I did was here.
Yeah.
The one that you did was there. The one that I did was here.
There we go.
I prefer yours, in all honesty, but I don't...
It's only because I've gone slightly lighter. That's all it is with the pressure. But there's nothing wrong with what you've done at all.
Paul, Matt.
Paul, you can't really tell the difference unless you put your glasses on.
You can't really. I'm going to take my glasses off because, you know, they both look amazing.
They do. They are, and it just goes.
Mine looks awful. Yeah.
You know,
no, they're both amazing.
But it's good, and and it's all about learning and going to workshops and groups and stuff like that. And in June, we've got our Clarity Open Days down in Ditton near Maidstone.
Yes.
And we've been doing it for many, many years now. And with the venue's been increasing in size, and the demonstrators have been increasing in numbers as well. And we've actually got the tickets available on Hochanda.
Well, breaking news, with
10%
off.
Exactly, bonus.
Even better. So take a quick look at this video. It's only just about a minute or so, and me and Paul won't go far.
Hi, I'm Barbara from Clarity Stamp, and I'd like to tell you about one of the absolute highlights of our Clarity calendar, our annual Open Days. Twice a year, both up north and down south, hundreds of us get together to celebrate art, craft and all things Clarity. Whether you're an inky stamper, a painty mixed media artist or a groovy pergamano parcher, this event will be perfect for you. So many talented and well-known crafters will be there to teach and share. There'll be free make and takes, loads of cool demos, hourly raffles with super prizes and a very, very popular tombola too. When is it? Well, on the 14th and 15th of June, we will all be at the Ditton Community Centre near Maidstone, Kent. And we'll be up in Leyburn, North Yorkshire in September. More will be revealed. So, if you like Clarity, you'll love our Open Days. Get your tickets today for another fantastic Clarity get-together.
Oh yeah, do it. Get your tickets today. 10% off as well when you phone through or order them with us on our website. Do find them. The Clarity Open Days come up in June, of course.
Yeah, not far away. Where is this year going?
I know.
It's crazy.
Literally.
April already.
I know. Don't. It's scary. It's really scary.
Soon be Christmas.
I know.
I said the C word. Sorry.
Luckily,
Christmas.
I've started making my Christmas cards this year, so no, I haven't. It's probably September time when I start.
Christmas
making.
Eve. Make Christmas cards.
Yeah, this is it. Now, we're so lucky because launching only in March, I mean, literally, we've only just gone into April, but launching in March with the King plates, launching in December last year, only a few months ago, with the Queen plates that you're looking at right now, and they come with the alphabet border strips as well. I'll just move the packaging up so you can see the full design on both of them. I love, actually, just very quickly for a few seconds to focus on the alphabets here, Paul. They're lovely and flamboyant, regal, aren't they?
They are. Jim created these in the office. When we decided that we had these beautiful lace plates, but we needed to give them an identity. So we thought lace, Queen Anne's lace, stuff like that. So Barbara said, right, well, we need to call them the Queens. And then it was choosing which Queen to give them a name to. And then Jim came up with a beautiful sort of like italic type font. And it just makes such a beautiful difference, and it just ties it in.
Yes, I mean, they are beautiful, and you've got the wonderful regal borders with each queen here, and we can showcase them on some of the coloured parchments. This is Sheila's work now.
Yeah. Now, Sheila's never done parchment until she was introduced to the Groovy system.
Right, okay.
But you can't tell. And that's what I love. I know I genuinely do mean it, is that sometimes when you look at a piece of artwork that the design team sent in, you can't really tell by looking at what I can't from the front, whether someone's been doing it traditionally for years, or they've just been doing it since Groovy came around. Because the skill levels, the Groovy system allows you to bring those skill levels to the top.
When everyone's using Groovy, it's an amazing level.
And isn't it just proving where we did that little bit of white work? I've been doing it for 3.5 years. You've just had a couple of goes on it, and you really can't tell the difference.
I mean, honestly, the only other bit of white work I can remember doing was on like a scrap piece of parchment as part of a technique practice with, I think it was either Tina or Linda. But actually, you know, so hardly any experience at all, if any, really, honestly. And then look here, Paul, the grid work here.
That's pure dedication. That's by Caris, who's a traditional parcher. I'd love to have the time to be able to do that in the middle. But mine would probably end up as one big hole.
Actually, bits falling out. Thinking, hang on, I didn't.
All the wrong bits would fall out.
Dearie me. This is the Queen set, and it's limited stock. I must tell you that before it goes any further. Limited stock. So order now, so as not to be disappointed or miss out. Deal 10 gets you 10% off on top of your £10 off as well. And on FlexiBuy, it's £26.97 now and £26.97 next month. And that's before you've even taken your 10% off. So knock another £2.60 off each FlexiBuy payment, so you're saving an extra £5, over £5 when you order it now with your Deal 10 code. So it's $48.55 with your 10% off, which makes it 2 payments of $24.28, under £25 today to get that whole set. However, hang on to your hat and save your decisions, because once you've ordered something on Flexi, you can make everything Flexi, and this is approaching limited stock now. Not only do you have £10 off, the difference here is that you've got the kings as opposed to the queens on the 4 plates, and you've got the border alphabets as well. However, there's also a freedom price that you can see just down there, $48.55. That doesn't mean that you miss out on your extra 10%, courtesy of Deal 10. It makes it $43.70 today, and then that makes it also 2 payments of $21.85 to order this whole set here. To get both today, both the kings and the queens, which I fear it might be your option, Paul, if you were there on the other side of the cameras.
I mean, I'm still a crafter, and I always look at the best deals available, and budget allowing. If I'm thinking, right, okay, well, I've got £45 this month, for example, or this day to spend on it, but I know I'll have £45 next month, then why not take advantage of it?
2 payments of 46 and a few pennies on top of that to make it yours on both sets. So yeah, you're doing very, very well. In fact, the king designs here, again, the borders just make any piece when you're framing it. It's so hard to choose which to show next, Paul, but I'll be guided.
This is, so this one here from Chris Walker. I just love that pink rose, the Jane Nesterenko rose, and for me, that lace work just absolutely completes the design. It really, really does. And to me, that is parchment craft. That's what I remember it of as years ago when I tried to do it traditionally. It was that effect. It really was. I mean, I didn't even get to that level. I struggled tracing out the design, and then I couldn't do it, and so it just got put to the back, and I did other stuff. So now I'm so happy to be able to create these beautiful lace frames.
Groovy makes it possible. Groovy
it really, really does.
So possible. And whether it's a frame or a grid providing a backdrop to something, or making a panel, you know, you've got your. I mean, look at that one there as well. Did we get a chance to see that earlier?
I think
either one of those two. Shall I show this one as a difference?
Show that one.
They're both sort of similar-ish in the technique, but look at that.
Linda Page has done this again. Linda wasn't a traditional parcher. She only started doing parchment since the Groovy system came along. And now she goes around the country teaching.
Amazing job.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, to look here, you've got your Groovy embossing with the white. You've got your Picot cutting, providing that additional element of detail and texture, revealing your pattern paper behind, and then you've got your white work as well. The 3 possibilities you've got with each plate. Before you even start playing with design and taking elements out and creating your own patterns as well. They're lovely plates. Look, this 10% discount expires in 41 minutes and 43 seconds as well. So not only have you got £10 off, not only have you got a freedom price here, not only have you got FlexiBuy, but you're pushing that price down by an extra 10% off when you quote Deal 10. And you can do that whether you're a freedom member or not. 508318 is your item number. Have a look at the website, because you'll be very pleased to see that you get great reviews back and great words back. You've got words like excellent clarity products. I'm a great fan of the Groovy range. I've begun to master the outlining, white work and colouring using the wonderful Clarity Groovy plates. I had wanted to learn how to do the fancy lace work, and this collection has made learning this craft so much easier. You've then got on the 20th of December beautiful designs that are easy to use, either on their own or mixed with other plates. Beautiful Groovy plates, but that isn't unusual for Groovy, yeah? So that's another fan that knows that you always get lovely designs, and someone else, stunning designs, easy to use and fabulous results. Oh, this is good feedback. Usual top-notch product from Clarity. So that's independent reviews from real customers that have gone on and they've said those words, and they are all on the website for you to peruse just there. So, Paul, where are we then?
Okay, so we've done a little bit of white work, so we've let that rest for a few minutes, really. So what we can do is go back in and maybe just put a little bit more white work on there. So I'm going to go back with the number 3 tool again, and all I'm going to do is put a little bit more pressure on there. And then what we'll do is we'll see the difference when we turn this over.
And what was it doing when it was resting? What were you achieving?
It was
with that?
de-stressing.
Right.
It was pinging back very, very slowly. I'm sure if you put like a time-lapse camera on it, you'd be like, well, and then fast forward it. Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
So you can see then, and then what we're going to do is just sort of slowly build that whiteness up.
So this is when you can get your popping leaves and crisp petals. And,
So we can see now the difference. So this is where we've put 2 layers on, and then your one that just had the 1 layer on there.
Yes, yeah, see the difference.
Okay. So, should we ever go at perforating?
Yeah, definitely.
You really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did. I really did. It was a shame because we rushed it in like 90 seconds, but it was good fun. Yeah, we'd say with the Pagwana needle tools, you get your single needle, double needle and quadruple needle with the 1, 2 and the 4. They're in a pack from 1935. You can save £1.93 on those when you order them in this show and quote deal 10 because you are getting 10% off, but only for another 39 minutes and 18 seconds.
And the light wave panel, if you've been on the fence on that,
that's another one. That'll be about £7 off, won't it?
You've got 10% off on that as well.
Yeah, so the Lightwave, yeah, very good shout. Oh, £6.29, apologies for getting that slightly wrong. But you'll get £6.29 off when you order it today.
So we're going to use the super foam because what we want to do when we perforate, we want to put the needle all the way through to get a really nice perforation. So we've got the super foam on there. Then I'm going to take my tumble dryer sheet and lay that on there. So this was a top tip from Linda Williams. Plate mate from the starter kit. And now we need to remember that we turn the plate over so that we can read the words perforate this side up. Okay, we're going to pop that into the plate mate so it gives us that larger area to work on. We also turn our parchment over so we're now on the front because we always perforate from the front as well. And then what we're going to do is we can see here possibly where you've got this open space in between these dots underneath. What we're going to do is fill that open space with the dots that we've just embossed. Okay, so it fills in that space so that you know that you can then, it's easy then to line up and reposition.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to use our Groovy tabs to hold that in place.
They're in the accessories kit with your Groovy guard and extra parchment paper.
Okay. And then we're going to take our Groovy guard, and this time I'm going to work on one of the smaller apertures because what it does, it focuses the mind and the area in which you're working in. Now, as we said, we've got the 1, the 2 and the 4 needle bowl tools on the show as well. So I personally prefer a 1 needle to work and do the perforating. But because I find it's easier to relocate 1 needle than 2 or 4. But you'll get used to it and then you'll think, well, actually, I'll do 4 needles. But it's only if the pattern permits that.
Yeah, with the 4 holes. You see,
because if there's not 4 holes there, it's obviously not going to work.
I mean, the two needles are brilliant when you're doing a straight square outline because you replace your... Yeah, exactly. It's really handy.
So then all we're going to do, we're just going to hold the needle upright and we're then just going to push the needle all the way in and we're going to perforate. Now the grids have been designed with the bold needle in mind because we also do a fine needle and you can use that perfectly well, but what you'll find with a fine needle is that when you push into the holes there'll be a bit more of a wiggle movement, but the bold will always give you that perfect perforation. Okay, So all we're going to do is just go in and perforate all the holes. See, for me, this is really therapeutic as well.
Yeah.
Just going through and sort of perforate.
It's methodical. You've got the map, you know, positioning your perforating holes. You know where you're going. You can watch it.
See, and what's great is that if the hole isn't there, it's not going to go anywhere.
No.
So even if you think, oh, that's a hole there, if you try and go in, nothing's going to happen.
You're not going through the plate.
No.
You can't get through. Yeah.
So we'll just do this little area here and just get back into the flow again. Obviously at home you won't be talking while you're doing it, well you might be.
You could be chatting,
you'll be talking to someone, because it is, I mean, groups sort of like get together and they have little crafting sessions.
I'm noticing that clock ticking away. Normally it's ticking away for the final call on the one day special. One day special sold out pretty much almost this time yesterday in the 6 o'clock show. However, that's counting down to the 6:15 mark. So it's 35 more minutes now to take advantage of 10% off with anything that is on the shop by brand with your Groovy today.
And that's everything on the website, isn't it?
Yeah, everything, yeah.
Everything.
Literally under the brand, under the brand umbrella.
Crazy.
It's an amazing opportunity.
Right, do you want to have a go?
Yes,
Matt?
please, yeah.
So if we do this area over here.
Okay, will do.
I know you're left-handed.
Lefty, yes, indeed I am. So I'm going to start here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just position it a bit more vertically, because that's how I sort of
But if you try to do it at an angle, the grid will make you go upright.
Oh, of course it will.
It's not going to go in.
Yes.
Because you've got the depth in the Groovy plate, it's not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I said earlier, before we put them into production, we have to test them. Sometimes we get a prototype through, but on the Kings, time was short in getting them made in time in order to launch them in March. So I had to work with a paper pattern.
Yeah. Just thinking of swapping to the two needle tool out of interest, just to see how that goes.
It tells you at the end of the tool.
It does indeed, doesn't it?
Two little dots to indicate the 2 needle.
Yeah, you can see the 2, yeah.
And then the 4 needles obviously got the 4 dots on there.
There's the 4, and the one I was using is the 1, which is literally... Oh, I just dropped one, I do apologise.
Grab that one.
There's the 1. Thank you, Paul. Okay. Apologies, because it's actually your tool there that I've dropped. But yeah, I thought I'd switch to the 2 just to give it a go, you know.
So what you'll find, it won't work on diagonal because the pitch is wider.
Yeah, but it will work on
So
these.
I was given the paper patterns and they said, right, you need to test these to make sure that they work. Well, okay, I can do it on the grids, I can do it on the paper. How wrong was I?
Really?
To do it with paper is a skill that people have been doing for years and years and years. And you would think you've got this tiny little black dot, and just to perforate would be fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't holding the needle upright, because I was sort of rushing to do the design, it looked as if someone had sort of like just randomly stuck holes in a piece of paper. And I said, like, I can't trust what I've done to be correct.
Yeah.
And so we had to get the prototypes in order to test them. So I really do appreciate how people that have done it traditionally over years, how the skill required.
Yeah. Let me go back to the single one now.
But this is great because it's just...
Loving it. So perforating from the front always, because you're getting the clean, you're pushing the parchment through. Oh, I'm looking for any that I can do now. Shall I carry on? Or?
Yeah, carry on. See, this is great because when I teach workshops as well, if I could bottle this, it's how to keep a room full of women absolutely quiet.
Yes.
It's amazing. I can have 25 people in my workshop and all of a sudden you can hear a pin drop. And I say that to the lady, I said, but your other halves will be sort of like, do it. And they just all laugh, and or their tongues are hanging out as they're perforating. I mean, I do it myself.
So children, grandchildren as well. I mean, obviously you supervise them with various things like piercing and perforating.
Absolutely. But doing the Groovy, and it concentrates the mind. It really does concentrate the mind.
Very, very, very busy phone lines out there, so presumably a lot of people just like us, Paul, that will be panicking, thinking this is it. 31 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Thank you so much for letting me do that perforating. Really enjoyed it. But also, you've got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes on the show to get hold of whatever it is that you want to find, but another 31 minutes and 35 seconds to take advantage of your 10% off with various items under, of course, the Groovy brand today when you're shopping by brand on the website. So type it in, go have a look on hochanda.com. The Queen's set is here. They're border plates. Now, the important thing is these are a blend. So you've got the Groovy, traditional Groovy area here, and then you've got the perforating little bit there. So you can use the perforating holes or the Groovy groove to parch with. They include actually over here, I know the shot isn't wide enough because you've even got the borders there as well. There's so much, we can barely fit it all in. But there you go, you are getting those as well. With your discount, you're getting 10% off plus another 10% off with your £10, making it £24.28 today on the first payment of £2 on your Flexi buy. So it's a good deal, and you can take advantage of your deal 10 there. Also, you've got your King plates, which only launched in January of this year, so March. Keep saying January, yeah, March, literally.
Who knows where we are, what day of the week.
Right, OK, Paul, you've got the scissors out there.
Right, yeah. I have my weapons of choice. Picot cutting, I absolutely love it. When I can do things like this, the inside, I really do not like having to do a straight line round the edge. I mean, if I bring this in here, that Karen's done, she's perforated that with a 2-needle tool and she's Picot cut that. Now that for me would probably take me about half an hour to an hour to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd rather be doing it here in this beautiful lace work.
Yeah, okay. Designing.
So this is where we brought in the Picot dies and Groovy plate. So we've got these on the show. So if you're thinking about, if you think, oh, maybe I could do a little bit more, then for me, the nested squares, Picot dies and Groovy plate make a big difference, because what it does, it gives you the effect of the Picot within, I'd say from start to finish, within 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah, as opposed to an hour or an hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
Good saving of time.
So check those out on the website as well, because they are a must-have.
Well, the really cool thing is they're £31.49 today, because you've got your £5 off, but you've got an additional £3.49 off because of your 10% off with your deal 10. So if you're putting them in your Flexi order today, that should make it around £15.75.
Wow.
Very good. £15.75 today, £15.75 next month, and you will use them for years and years to come.
And the Groovy plate on its own would sell for £14.99.
That's a very good point. Yeah. So it's a good saving on that, seriously. £5 off today anyway, but then an additional £3.49 off thanks to deal 10 with your deal wheel.
Okay, so 3 different types of scissors. We've got the exclusive scissors, which is Barbara prefers. And then we've got the perga cutters, or the squizzers, as I like to call them. And then we've got the ring lock. I think I might rename those squizzers.
Squizzers, it's good. It's really good. Let's see if the .com's still available.
Yeah. Well, we own Pergamano, so we could do that, yeah. And then the ring lock. I can use all 3 of them, but the exclusive ones I can only use for a short period of time because my fingers are just a bit too chunky. So I often go between the perga cutters and the ring lock. And what I tend to do before I go in and start doing my Picot cutting is I would have a straight line with a row of perforations, and I do it's like a warm-up exercise. You sort of get your hand into the rhythm of doing it, because what I don't really want to do is I've traced all that out, I've done all the perforating, and I go in and I start and...
Yeah, you don't want to risk your actual work that you've just spent an hour, 2, 3 hours on. Yeah, of course.
So obviously I've been warming up today anyway. So what I'm going to do, I hold my scissors from underneath in the spoon position. Okay, so the spoon, so it sort of comes upright, rather than the fork position, because all the scissors have got a slight curve to them. And then I come in from underneath, and then I use these. I call it playing the recorder. So like, it's just a way of remembering it. Ben's laughing at me now.
Yeah, it's a good description.
And then
he's
what
grade 6 on the ocarina.
I did play the clarinet. And then all I'm going to do is it's the tip of the scissors, and I'm just going to tilt slightly and just snip.
So it's the twist towards you, isn't it?
I mean, some people say you don't need to twist, but for me, I just find it's just that little natural movement. And then I'm turning my work, my hand isn't really moving. It's
important.
Okay. And because what you don't want to do is go around and then your hand gets all around here and it's uncomfortable. So I always keep, if I'm doing lace work like this, I prefer to work on the flat. Okay.
Okay, while you're cutting there, Paul, it's a very good time to mention a question we've had from Angela. So thank you very much, Angela, for getting in touch. When you're die cutting with the Picot dies, so the frames that we just looked at, does it flatten the white work? Very good question.
I would say it is. It depends on your sandwich combination. If there's too much pressure, it could happen. I've never had it happen when I do mine, because sometimes I'll do all my work and then I think, oh, I should have Picot cut and I'll do it. What we always suggest is that you actually Picot cut with the dies first. And then do your work. But touch wood, he says, I've never had any of my white work flattened.
No.
It just depends on the depth. I mean, when we looked at that Dahlia one down there that looked three-dimensional...
Oh, gosh, you'd have to do that.
I wouldn't recommend doing it at that point, because I think it would have an impact on it. But mine isn't as raised as
I think it's because the dimension is so key to this design.
And because of the mangle of it is at the pressure. So I would say Picot cut your parchment first with the dies, and then do it.
I'll tilt that back for you so you can see. It's actually, it looks more three-dimensional than it is, but it's still popping out from the parchment.
And it will depend on the machines that you use and the sandwich combination.
Yeah. So die cut with your Picot cut squares or rectangles, ovals first before you do anything like that.
Yeah. So
that's a good question, Angela. It's a really good question.
Do that little snip there, and now we've got that lovely little piece cut out there.
It's beautiful.
Just tilt that up.
We're very close, but then when you see it's nice.
See, but I love doing these little squares. I could do these little squares for ages. So I'm just going to do these few here. So what I'm doing the two, and then I'm turning the parchment, snipping those two there, and I'm always cutting over the way. So I'm going to the two holes that are furthest away from the scissors, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to turn it round, and then there, and there, and then we've got those lovely little squares.
Beautiful squares.
And now it's your turn, Matt.
Thank you, Paul. I was really hoping you'd say that. Thank you. Let's swap. So what would you like me to do? Would you like me to do a square?
Do you want to do some squares, or do you want to go advanced and do a rectangle?
Let's go and do a rectangle. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling bold. So I'm going to cut here. I'm going to rest, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to rest them there and snip.
And just snip,
Okay, I think it's worked.
Yeah, that's cut.
I think it's cut, and I'm going to turn it around to do the opposite side, or should I just go around?
Side,
Okay, so turn it around. I think I've cut there, so I'm going to cut here now. So I'm resting them on my finger like you taught me.
It just gives a little bit of balance and stability to the scissors.
Yeah. And now I'm going to go this way.
Yeah.
Cut over my work, over my waist.
That's it. And you need to go back into the hole that you've come out
I need to go back in there, don't I? So every other one.
So you always go back into the hole with the point of the scissors that you've just come out of. Fantastic.
And then this last one, I think. Is that right?
And that's it. And then what you're doing is that as you're doing it, when you start off, if you go sort of slowly, as you squeeze the scissors, you'll see that the parchment comes to a point, which is that Picot.
Okay, I've gone very quiet, haven't I, Paul?
See, I told you.
Yeah,
it
does.
Some Picot cutting, colouring in, tracing out, and you can make a whole room absolutely quiet.
There we go. So I'm hoping that once we pull that away, look. So I just want to show my work off in the best light. So I'd like to just hold that up for you.
So which one did you do and which one did I do?
I've lost track of which one's which now. I think you did this one, Paul, and I've done this one.
Yeah. And I'd say yours is actually better than mine. Seriously, no, really, absolutely. And it's amazing.
It's encouraging to know.
It's amazing that some people
with the right tools
can pick it up instantly.
There you go.
I mean, I say it took me 6 months to be able to come on to do it on TV and to actually teach other people as well. I can show people how I do it and how I hold the scissors. But you've got to get comfortable with the way that you're doing it.
Yeah, it's very
but that is fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. So, really enjoyed doing that. So, you know, Charlie's had a go, Catherine's had a go, and I've had a go as well. And you've got just under 20 minutes at the moment to get your 10% off everything Groovy. So shop by brand on the website, hochanda.com, find Groovy, and quote deal 10 on the phone or the website. When you're checking out, you'll get 10% off everything, including your queen plates that you're looking at now. They include also the alphabet border plates in that bundle, and then you've got the king plates over here, and they are with your Groovy borders, as well as your perforating borders and the alphabet plates also. Get them all today, potentially, because FlexiBuy is available. on it to spread the cost over 2 months. Well, Paul, a phenomenal one-day special that sold out 23 hours ago, really.
Yeah, I know, absolutely crazy. And each hour so far with the fantastic real deal savings.
Yeah. Oh, and
Thank
so
you.
many people picking up the starter kit as
Yeah,
well. Thank
well
you
done.
for watching. Thank you so much for your company today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Should say a lovely thank you to Paul Church as well for the demonstrations on the shows, and the design team for putting in such effort as well prior to the show. The Flower Pro One Day Special launches next. Global happy hour deals and lots more to come.
Hi, I'm Charmaine from Dolly Dimples Crafts, and my passion is in card making and three-dimensional paper crafting pieces. And we're a family-run business, and I just love making three-dimensional pieces and things that come to life. As well as using our products for card making, you can also use them for scrapbooking and mixed media, and mixing some of your own products that you've already got in your crafty stash. I'd love you all to join us to watch us on Hochanda and see the demonstrations and the hints and tips that I can bring to you. Great for new crafters and experienced crafters as well. So make sure you don't miss the Dolly Dimples craft shows on Hochanda.
Welcome to Club G45 from Graphic 45, the monthly tutorial kit that allows you to create some of the most beautiful projects by accessing a step-by-step video, viewable online. This month's tutorial is Love Notes Tag and Pocket Album Kit, containing tag and pocket album and twist and fold pop-up card projects. You'll get almost everything you need to create the projects from scratch, including access to this month's step-by-step video tutorial and accompanying project sheet. Simply order yours by purchasing item number 622352 for $44.99 plus postage from hochanda.com, or give us a call on 01733 60 2000 for instant access to this month's Club G45 from Graphic 45.
Wow, just look at these samples. We've got an incredible one-day special for you. We've got some amazing demonstrations. I'm so excited about this show. I'm so excited to do the launch. Before we show you what's happening though, I just want to give you some very important information. Now then, we've no deal wheel, but if you're very quick, and I can only tell you this the once, I'm not going to remind you again, you can get in and get that 10% off within the next 15 minutes. Once the 15 minutes has passed, that's it, there's no more 10%. So do take advantage of that. But let's get down to it. Nicholas,
Thank you.
Hello, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
I know we've known each other so long and never met, so that's really
That's
exciting.
exactly.
Yes.
Of course, our association with Katie Sue Designs, you
Yes.
know, we work closely with them, but we have never met.
No, that's right.
So, you know, this is so exciting for me. I cannot wait for this hour. This is going to be absolutely amazing. Now then, what have we got first for you? We've got something new with the Flower Pro. It's the Lily Mould collection. Now, you've got the Lily Mould here, you've got the Veiner, and you've also got the Lily Buds. Nicholas, tell us something about this, because obviously you're the designer behind
Yes,
this.
well, you know, obviously this is like all the Flower Pro to try and simplify making flowers. So rather than traditional method with air drying clay or sugar, of having to use cutters and veiners, this does it all for you in one piece. So it's a sort of so obviously the piece here is has the obviously petals and the leaves, and you have the center part, pistil stigma,
Yes.
and even the little stamens. So it's everything you need in one mold.
These are incredible. When you see more of the samples, you're just going to be blown away at the quality of the samples and the look that you're going to get, the realism of the flowers, and you can achieve this with these molds. These are incredible. Now look at the price there. You're saving £10 today, £24.98, 828 563 is the item number. We are going to see more samples. Don't they look real? They are incredible. They really, really are. Of course, Katie Sue Designs, we know and love the brand. We know the quality. We know that everything's going to be absolutely spot on before they're released, Nicholas.
Exactly.
Because you're the designer behind this and you're a professional of many years, you wouldn't let them put these out unless you were totally satisfied.
No, some of the molds have taken us like 9 months to get right, you know, just because the incredible detail is obviously very important when we're going for realism. So.
Wow. Well, we're already busy for this. I knew we would be, but we've got much more to show you, so we're going to move on because we do want to get to demonstration time as quickly as possible as well. But wait until you see the next bundle we've got for you. This is absolutely incredible also. Now then, there's the lily. You can still see the lily on the screen there. Do take advantage of that saving today, £10 saving, £24.98. We're going to see this in action, of course, in demonstration time. This will be our first demonstration of the hour for the launch show. But, wait until you see this. I absolutely love this. Now, we've got the moulds and the pieces to create this beautiful, beautiful peony, but it's not just a peony, also a tulip as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. So this is an amazing sort of combination. So this is creates the peony petals and peony, obviously also tulip petals. So you can do like open parrot tulips, little closed Dutch or French tulips. Like here we have the little orange ones here, and different types of peonies, both the oriental type, which is a little bit further along, and then the sort of more the cabbage style classic garden peony. So,
absolutely gorgeous. It looks like you've just picked that from the garden, doesn't it? It really does. And look at the price on this one as well. You're saving £5. You've also got the ability to take this over a flexi-buy option as well. New today, of course, this is brand new launch. This is the one-day special. 2 payments of £23.99 if you want to take advantage of flexi-buy. Item number 925990. I just cannot get over how real these actually look.
Well, thank you. I mean, wow. And of course, we have an amazing design team as well.
Of course, always got to mention the design team.
Exactly, who support us.
Now then, I can tell you within seconds, almost 10% of that stock has gone. In fact, I'm hearing over 10% of the stock has gone. Incredible. We knew it was going to be busy. We want to move on because we've got so much to show you. There you are. There. We're going to talk to you about all these a little bit more in detail. Of course, this is the first show as well. We are going to preview absolutely everything so that you are clear of what's available here on the show as well. Oh.